All right, has anyone noticed this trend among some of our government experts lately? It starts off with them telling you a thing. If you question the thing, you will be mocked, ridiculed, and potentially censored. It then turns out later that the thing that they told you wasn't quite as true as they promised you it would be. And when you point this out, they revert to telling you that, well, they never told you the thing that they told you. And then when you show them incontrovertible proof that they did in fact tell you the thing that they told you, they just suggest that you should be mocked, ridiculed, and potentially censored. I can't imagine why we don't trust these guys.
If you're so confused and disoriented that you don't know where you are or where you're going, there are predators of the spirit who are much worse than snakes that are waiting in wait for you. And the probability that you'll move from aimless, hopeless, joyless anxiety to nihilism, corrosive bitterness, and genocidal fantasy in the fundamental extreme is very high. And so that's possession by a predator of the spirit in the desert of the soul. And that's real.
Honey, someone's going to the house. Someone's going to the house. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
Who are you calling the pops? I'm gonna call the pops.
We're recording you.
No. It's okay. I'm just your neighbor. Coming by to say howdy.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, we're not used to people stopping by to say howdy without assaulting us first, robbing us, or defecating on our lawn.
Sometimes all three.
The trifecta. We're from Los Angeles.
Just moved to Texas.
I figured.
Oh, the California plates?
Well, yeah, and the masks. Inside your own house. No one else around. 2022.
We just want to be extra safe.
We feel naked without masks.
We'll probably wear them for the rest of our lives.
We'll be buried in them.
Okay. Well, you seem like a lovely couple. Like I said, I just wanted to drop by and welcome you to the neighborhood.
Why? Do you want something?
Oh, no. I think he's being friendly. People around here are friendly, like we've seen in the movies, right?
I thought that was just make-believe, like superheroes or families that go to church.
No, that's a myth. This is real life.
So, I live in that house over yonder. Name's Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. I'm Tiffany, she, her.
And I'm Steve, he, him.
What are your pronouns?
I don't believe in pronouns. I think they're reductive. In fact, just your asking about it is a microaggression.
Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay. I'm just messing with you. I like all pronouns. My favorite is you.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Exactly. So, if you need anything, just holler. My wife and I'd be happy to help.
Baby, he has a gun.
I'm calling the cops.
I'm recording you.
No.
Recording
It's
you.
okay.
Good morning. I'm here to give you an update on the FBI's investigation of Secretary Clinton. What I want to do is tell you what we're recommending. But first, let me tell you what we found. 110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it make?
8 of those chains are top secret, 36 of those chains secret, and 8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it make?
Everything I did was admitted. There was no law, no regulation.
Secretary Clinton should have known that an unclassified system was no place for that conversation.
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email.
None of these emails should have been on any kind of unclassified system, not even Gmail.
Well, first of all, nothing was marked classified.
To the contrary,
Nothing was marked classified.
there is evidence of a
Nothing was
tremendous
marked,
amount,
nothing was marked classified.
Now let me tell you what we found.
Oh my God.
110 emails.
It was not the best choice.
52 email chains
It was a mistake.
have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it
8
make?
of those chains are top
It wasn't the best
secret.
choice.
36 of those chains
I said it was a mistake.
8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it
With
make?
respect to our recommendation, this is going to be an unusual statement in at least a couple of ways. Although there is evidence, our judgment is that no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case. I know there will be intense public debate. I know there will be intense public debate. I know there will be intense public debate. Public debate. What difference at this point does it make? 110 emails.
It wasn't the best choice.
52 email chains.
I made a mistake.
Have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it
8
make?
of those chains are top
It was not a
secret.
good choice.
6 of those chains
I said it was a mistake.
and 8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it make?
Hey y'all, how's it going? Hell, I sent out links out and nobody came. Bonnie one called me, wanted to do a live. What's everybody got going? Anybody seen anything weird? Let me see if I can play this one thing got sent here. Vicky sent me this earlier. Let's see. Get it over here for y'all.
If you've been distracted by the mass chaos in the United States, UFOs, railroad disasters, and everything on fire. But in Abu Dhabi in the UAE, the Abrahamic Family Faith House just opened. The 3 major religions in the world all coming together and worship in one place. And if you're without discernment, you might think this is a good thing. JT, what's wrong with peace? Well, in Thessalonians, it says, when they're saying peace and safety, that's when sudden destruction comes, and they won't be able to escape it. Because what this really is one step closer to a new temple in Jerusalem, on the Temple Mount. And when they build that temple in Jerusalem, it's not going to be for the God of Abraham. It's going to be for the Antichrist. Guys, don't be deceived. Check out this commercial promoting this thing. Check out the symbolism here. So here you have the young lady representing the Catholics. We have the older boy representing Islam. The youngest boy representing Judaism. There's your pyramid, Semiramis, Nimrod, Tammuz. Or you could say Isis, Osiris, and Horus. As Jesus once said to the Pharisees, if they were children of Abraham, they'd be doing the same works as Abraham. But they're not.
Wow, weird. The hell? My mic was picking up the background noise. What was that?
Brother,
What?
I was on a phone with
I'm on a live.
I'm telling you what, I
Okay, well, I heard you a minute ago.
As we can observe, this gentleman wanted to fuck around at a level of 8. But just how much is he going to find out? I will travel up the y-axis to our gradient line, which is directly correlated with our find out axis.
Hey, Chuck. Hey, chat. Is anybody here? Okay.
Hey,
Oh, there you are.
I sent out on how many links, and
Yeah, I got off the phone with my brother. He was hollering at me, and I was like, leave me alone. Ugh. WTH. Hey, shit picker. Eddie. And, yep, he's in California, and he was griping about California. Well, I said, wow, it sounds just like what's happening in my small little community. That's life. Hi, Echo.
Hello. Hi, Chuck. Hi, everybody.
hey,
Oh,
Joy to all, and Shift Kicker, and Garrett.
all our wonderful peoples are here.
Oops. And my computer's like going nutso on me, and took me forever to be able to even get in here.
Took mine also. Internet problems today.
Yep. And you're roboting. It's me. It's my computer.
I heard a little weirdness out
Flipping
over
balls.
the roboting, but hey, puppet, probably the internet
Meet
error.
Puppet. Hello. Probably. Stands alone. Offers kingdom.
Hey, everybody.
Cole. Joy. Sharon. Professor Falcon. Goodness, they've been talking for a bit. D. Uh-oh. Meat Puppet. He must be having problems too. Regina. Donna.
Do I
Texas
sound like I'm
Redleg.
roboting to the chat?
Cashew. No, you sound good now to me. I'm telling you, it's me.
I heard it stuttering a little bit, but I don't know. That's why I named it this. What the fuck is going on? Can anyone relate? Sorry for the way I put it. Hey, all. Hey, Deb. Hey, Ed. Hey, Joy. Hey, Shift.
Yep.
Daniel. Larry. Hey, Garrett.
Well, it's just us up here, I guess.
Meet Stans, Cole, Jerry, Professor Falcon. Let's see anybody else. AD, Regina. I think that's pretty much every Texas Redleg.
Whoa. You see that? Nearly 20,000 cattle died in that explosion yesterday.
Yeah, 18,000 something.
Full of shit.
Professor Falcon put a link
Cows.
to the cows.
Where they did that at, it's fucking
That place is
in the middle
huge.
of nowhere.
Hey, Joseph.
Anybody ever see anything on it? Full picture other than stuff like last night? There had to have been more leaked out.
I haven't seen any more about it at all. But I wasn't on the net all day.
I was working on the mower out.
His link, Professor Falcons, is dated today. If you can grab it. I can't.
That one that they just put out there, I grabbed it. I'm looking at it. I was looking.
Oh, okay.
He's better. Yeah, he's doing okay, Ed. He's got to go in next week to get the thing moved where they hook the thing up. I wish they'd get it the doctor to be able to check him, but I don't know who to take, where he's got to go to make sure what level or what, because the dialysis place, I really don't know if he's doing a lot better and he could be off of it where they'd say that.
That's what I was wondering, if it's a doctor's orders or if they just decide themselves, or. No, I don't want to go to the doctor tomorrow.
I'm not going unless I'm bleeding or I'm unconscious and somebody calls them and they pick me up.
No.
I mean, bleeding, I can't stop.
I just don't want to have seizures from stopping this medicine too soon. I've seen it. It's horrible.
Read up on it or exactly what to do. Like I said, do little baby steps.
That's what I'm going to do. I can't do it as quick as you said, but Shift Kicker said doctors have to order it. So he had to have had a doctor that ordered it.
Sense or not, has he? Somebody came through over there. I'm not sure what it is unless there's somebody looking at the numbers.
Hey, Tracy.
Hey, Tracy.
I'm glad you're back, Donna.
Here comes a train.
Yeah, I was just looking at it. Oh, no. I was just looking at a headline from CoinDesk Technology. New privacy blockchain Namada proposes first ever shielded airdrop to Zcash. Have you heard of Zcash?
Of what?
Zcash.
I don't think I have.
ZCASH. Zcash. You never heard of it either. But it's the digital thing that they're Yep. It's all that.
So how warm was it by you today?
Me?
Yeah.
It was like 78, close to 80.
Same here. It's 63, it says out there now.
Hey, I can actually hear you this time.
Yep, I hear you too now.
There we go. Oh.
Hi, Meat Puppet.
Hi,
Hello.
Dubs.
Hey, Echo. How's everybody?
Hey.
Finally
Doing
cooling off a
good.
little bit.
Yeah, it got I was about 85 in my place today, and I was like, oh. And then it
Yeah,
goes down to 40 at night, you know?
Yep, it's doing that right now up here in Minnesota. It got up in the 80s. It's probably down 60s or 70s about now, probably.
I'm all the way probably lower than that.
Shift Kicker 87. She's up there. And
88 here.
Wow.
well, in fact, she was showing me snow still on the ground this morning when I was on her panel. Not much.
Either people got pounded that
But
never
this
got
is
pounded.
all normal.
It's what?
Yeah. This is all normal. We're
Yeah.
all imagining that it's out of the ordinary.
It's a weather cycle. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dang shift. It feels like it's still 80. Of course, I cracked my windows in the truck a little bit.
Long time no see, Meat Puppet.
Yeah, I've been
Where have you been?
unemployed mostly. Up until last week, I started with a new company. So last week and this week are my first 2 weeks back to work.
Congrats. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, it happens. I got thrown under the bus for something I didn't do.
Oh, my ex-husband lost a job like that. What did they say?
Well,
Something?
No,
Words?
no, I was driving with a load. So I'll give you the brief rundown of what happened. So I was running with a load from Dallas, Fort Worth, back up through Missouri. I was up around Joplin when this happened. Was stopped at the rest. There's a rest area there just before you get to the 13 mile marker there at the exit. So I stopped there, stretched my legs, whatever, left the area. One of these fly-by-night guys who like to try to run into people so they can collect insurance money, scammers, decided he was going to target our company. Well, we've got front-facing cameras. So he comes up. First he was tailgating me after I came out of the rest area for, probably 5 or 10 miles probably. And then he comes flying up my driver's side in a hammer lane. And comes around, and as he comes up, I notice he was driving a Chrysler 300, so his shit down the entire passenger side was all dented, scraped up, like he'd been running up against a set of tires on a tractor trailer or something. Then he starts fucking pulling in front of me, and starts to slow down, weaving back and forth. I try to back off and change lanes and go around like you're supposed to. And then eventually he just gets some other random person in the hammer lane to completely block me off. So I'm like, what the fuck are these idiots doing? So I finally called 911. They're like, hey, there's a report of an accident. Go ahead and pull over. We got troopers en route. Well, if troopers en route, I'll talk to them. At least I got a reasonable shot at them being fair, unless they're having a bad day. So I'm like, all right, fair enough. They pull up. We pull over, and they pull up. And he's accusing me of basically running into him and fucking up his shit. Well, there was no injuries. They refused medical service. Ambulance takes off after we pulled up the road to an on-ramp. I had two county sheriffs, and a state cop. After looking at their fucked up car that had to be towed, my tractor trailer with no damage, no marks, not a damn thing wrong with it, basically give me a basic copy of the report and tell me to have a nice day.
Sweet.
So, well, that's real good, because most state cops, if they get a chance to give a truck a ticket, they will.
Oh yeah, and that would have been great on your first couple weeks, you know.
Well, no, this is at my previous company. That's why I'm at a new company.
Oh, okay.
So after we're all done, I call over to the office and tell them what happened. They're all right. They start reviewing the dash cam footage, and they're like, "Hey, good job. Thank you for not fucking up our equipment." No problem. So coming to find out, once we get the insurance company involved, rather than do what would make sense and do the right thing and charge this guy with basically fraud and wrongful filing of a insurance claim, and all the legal mumbo jumbo, they're like, yeah, you know what, we're just going to pay the guy off, and we want the driver fired. And they're like, yeah, okay, sure. This is my former company. I'm like, so wait a minute. I didn't do anything wrong. I had 3 cops whose sole job is to give me a ticket if I fuck up anything. Tell me I did do anything wrong. You watch the cameras, tell me I do anything wrong, but you're still going to fire me for it? So that's a pretty fucked up deal. But I'm like, all right, whatever.
I'd sue the shit out of them.
I swear to God,
you know what?
got the jack, man. Ugh, you got jack.
I could fuck up their life pretty bad with wrongful termination, but A, I don't have money for a lawyer. B, even if I did and made them pay for it.
Contingency, baby. Contingency. That's what you're looking for. They don't get
Well,
it, you don't get it. Or you
No,
don't get it.
right. I get it, but me doing that to them, it's not going to solve anything, and they're still going to do it to somebody else. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to. I took the high road. I was just like, all right, whatever. You'll reap what you sow. You got it'll come to you, whatever.
Yeah, it does. Karma does come.
You seen that they paid him off, so they would have paid you off too. So
Well, but this is where it gets interesting. Our insurance company didn't pay him off because when I applied at my new job that I'm at now, they had ran my DAC report and my MVR and everything come back fucking, PSP report, everything come back clean as a whistle, as it should. And she's like, you're, because I had told her what happened. She's like, well, you were there for 2.5 years and you told me you didn't have any plans to leave. What happened? I told her. And she's like, well, they changed your story again. They said now you were laid off when originally I was fired. And come to find out, the Chrysler 300 had like $17K worth of damage. One little detail I almost forgot. The guy who told had told 911 or one of the troopers that a red semi had hit him. Well, the company I was with at the time was driving maroon semis, dark maroon semis, to be specific. So they ended up not paying that guy. He got the money from somewhere, from another insurance company or something somewhere. And then I'm out of job. Of course, like you said, should I have probably sued them? Yeah, probably. They deserve it. They fuck up their life pretty good, but end of the day, it wouldn't solve anything. So I'm like, just leave well enough alone, and they're gonna reap what they sow, and just left it well enough alone.
a lot of people reaping what they sow anymore. Seems like they benefit anymore. It's like okay, yeah,
Well,
that's it to me.
Yeah, no, that's true. It does seem that way, but sooner or later, they're gonna kick the bucket, and when they do, they ain't gonna be able to talk their way out of that one.
Do you think they would do this to some other employee?
Guarantee they would. Sure.
Well, then that is the reason you don't do it for you. You do it for future people. Get their shit together.
Yeah, you're a kid or you're.
I mean, it's only a 40 truck company, 3 guys, a dad and 2 sons running the business. Sure, I probably, like I said, I know I had grounds for a good wrongful termination.
Why don't you do civil, and that's a little slap, just to let them know, don't do this to somebody else, and state that in the court,
Yeah,
little...
like I said, I could have. I spent a couple weeks thinking about whether I should or shouldn't.
It's a civil, and you're not going for money.
No, I mean, even whether it's a civil or a legal, no matter what it was, I took the time to think about it. I really did, because I'm not gonna lie, I was tempted to do it because they deserve it. But at the end of the day, weighing all the pros and cons, I decided and just leave well enough.
There's a lot of those idiots running around that want to mess trucks up too. I mean, it's
they do.
They gotta have your back. They need to have your back.
That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Running out in front of a semi. Yeah, okay. What if he can't stop? You're a dead son of a bitch.
True story.
That it might as well be on a motorcycle in a car. That semi don't care.
No, we don't stop on dimes. It takes an average of 200 to 300 yards to stop a tractor trailer, depending on whether you're empty or loaded.
And if you lock the brakes up, that's on control. That means you're gonna whatever you're in. If you cause that, you get rolled up in it. You're gonna be drugged. So.
Oh yeah.
Or rolled across.
And Texas, any rear-ended accident is your fault.
Illinois is the same way. If you rear-end a car, it's automatically your fault.
Yes.
No matter what. Illinois is the same way.
I hate that.
I'm with you. I hate that too. It's a bunch of nonsense.
I drove for a while, and I drove hot shot though. We had we had escort loads and all that. Is all I ever did.
Yeah. So now I don't get paid till Friday. I'm over here at the new job, and I'm about as broke as a $3 bill. But
Good ornament wannabes. Hello, rabbits.
yep, pretty much. Good ornament wannabes. Oh, I think that was Ed that said that.
What?
The hood ornament wannabes. He typed it in chat.
It'd be.
But I know there are some places, I think it's either Texas or a few other places, where if you cut off a truck and it doesn't kill you, they charge you $750 for your trouble.
Huh.
Those are mostly southern states, mind you.
Not to mention, somebody does some stupid ass shit like that. I imagine you swallow about half the truck seat backwards. So,
yeah, depending on the severity of the accident, yeah, I mean, yeah, it could be one of.
it'd be like, sir, teeth marks in your seat. That's me holding on.
Pretty much, yeah. Depending, like I said, depending on what they're trying to pull and how fast you're going, yeah, absolutely. That could certainly happen.
Anything gets me, people in the fast lane, they'll get up there and get next to a truck and just sit there.
Yep. That's stupid. That's one place you do not want to be.
Make you slow down to like 20 miles an hour because you come up on somebody. And the truck ramps, how often are you around where there are truck ramps in the mountains and stuff?
I was gonna say there's ramps everywhere. The runaway ramps, they're depending on your mountain range. If you're over in the Virginias, out in the Appalachians, you'll get them every now and then, but almost nowhere. If you're out near Denver, places like that, you'll see runaway ramps all over the place. The ones in the Appalachians, they've got them, but they're more spread out. Whereas most times
Susquehanna Trail. Is it the Susquehanna? I just didn't know what routes you do. If you do like East
Coast.
Coast.
No. Well, I used to with this other company that threw me into the bus and fired me for that little story I just had. I was running pretty much down towards the Carolinas, Dallas, Fort Worth, over by Denver and Cheyenne, and up near Milwaukee. Now, with this company I'm with now, instead of being out like 3 weeks at a time, I'm home basically once a week, basically once every about 5 days. So I'll do like a Tuesday through Saturday, go home for a couple days, reset my hours, and come back. It's more of a regional dedicated type run where I'll do a lot of Target or Mayfair or whatever they happen to need me to do, where I still get plenty of seat time and some decent hourly pay.
What's your region? The region you cover now?
Upper Midwest, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas.
Wow.
Illinois, Indiana, Michigan.
Wow.
Ohio.
Well, thank you for that information. I just needed to know a little bit more,
Yeah, a little bit of Western PA. But yeah, so I've been unemployed for the first couple of weeks, just kind of relaxing, helped the swelling my legs go down. Because the previous job, I was just way too much seat time. And so being hourly pay now, which is kind of nice. It pretty much doesn't matter.
Thanks for putting your life in danger, which truck drivers have always done, but I don't know. Do y'all still use CBs? Because we used to
we do.
And blank. We used to blink when they could get back in front of us, and we used to just be very courteous to truckers back in those days.
Yeah, no, we still use CBs anymore. Most of them are just people just running their mouth, talking nonsense.
Yeah, I remember in the 70s, my dad trying to get home, early 70s during the strike, and He's one of them coming through Kentucky or Tennessee. I can't remember exactly where he was at, but up and down the side of his truck and trailer got lit up with an Uzi just because he was still on the road during the strike, and he was just trying to get home with an empty trailer.
Oh my God, an Uzi?
Oh yeah, they did all kinds of stuff like that during that strike.
Wow.
The guys who still had bills to pay and wanted to still make a living, they didn't take too kindly to that.
He said he should have went back bobtail, but he heard that even guys were getting shot up that way too. So,
well, they had, I don't know when they went out, but they used to have Fuzzbusters, remember?
Oh man, I haven't seen or heard one of those in jeez.
I got caught with one in Virginia, and they told me they could throw me in jail and fine me $1,000, but if I handed him the Fuzzbuster, he'd let me go.
they were illegal in some places supposedly, but
I was going to say
with no lights on. He followed me for like 10 miles with no lights on, and I'm like, I felt like somebody's following me, but there's nothing behind me, right? Well, he gets up on my butt and lights it all up at once, and I was like, shit! I was going like 80.
Yeah, sounds about right. I've seen a few videos on the internet where one guy had a Fuzzbuster up in the bumper of it, up in his grill, up near top of his grill, and along those either Pete or KW. And he had it pretty well hidden, but they were looking for it, because he could flip it on and off with a switch. So when the cop pulled him over, and he's in a car hauler, tractor, shuts it off, and they go looking, and they're just standing there right in front of it and don't even see it. He's got his dash cam running, recording the whole thing.
Yeah, I could tell he was there because he made the Fuzzbuster go off a couple times, but I was like, oh, something's wrong. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, I'm all on flat land.
Right.
Surprise.
Hey, Jeremy.
The life of a trucker.
Yep.
Hey, Bobby. Yep, Frank. My dad, 8 years ago, or not even 8 years ago, 4 years ago, we went to go on vacation. We were up West Memphis, going into Memphis. It's still in Arkansas, and I got behind a state trooper, and there was a bunch of road construction through there, and I don't know if it still is now or not. I ain't been there in a while. But,
yeah, Memphis has got it on 55 right now, last I knew.
I was in the fast lane. I got behind the troopers. He did a U-ey right there where you can cut under right as you go through the state line. Mm-hmm. He got in front of me, and he hammered it up. So I got it right behind him, and I was doing 85, 90 mile an hour, and he drifted over in the passing lane and slowed down next to me and gestured to roll the window down. Wanted to know where I was going in such a hurry, and I said, well, you ain't chasing nothing. I don't see no lights going, so if you can do it, I can do it. That's a ticketing offense. I'm like, yeah, and you're not above the law either. I said, I'm going to follow you as far as you're going. I said, I'm just moving with the traffic. And he got back in front of me and just waved me on, and I followed him halfway to Nashville, and he finally pulled off one of the exits.
I don't like those barricades, when you're there with a truck and you're going through construction zone and you got the big cement barricades there. That used to be my biggest fear, is feeling like the truck's air, just like blowing me into one of those walls. I would be like, let the truck go by, let the truck go by.
Yeah, I mean, those Jersey barriers, some of those construction zones get pretty narrow.
They are bad.
Yeah, they are.
God forbid you have a car problem, either that or in the Baltimore Tunnel. Man, that driving through that's wild.
I usually stay away from the Northeast. I've been up to upstate New York, but
that's where I'm from, actually. Rochester.
Yeah, I've been up near Buffalo, down towards the Finger Lakes a little bit.
Yeah, I lived in Honeywell, the littlest one. Yeah,
But
it's
other than that, and one trip to Jersey,
no,
because I
Jersey.
was over in Eastern PA, so they ran me over to Jersey one time.
They're mean. They're mean in Jersey. They're worse than
Oh,
New Yorkers.
I know. I called the place where I was going. I'm like, what's the truck safe route to get in here? Because I'm not getting towed and ticketed if I make a wrong turn.
A lot of them work in New York and live in Jersey.
Right.
And they're just a very, very mean ass people.
Yeah, you can say that. You can definitely say that.
Joyzy. No offense if anybody's from Joyzy. You're probably nice if you're here. Bonnie, how was your day? Bonnie.
Busy.
Vitamin A day? Vitamin A?
No. That didn't
Oh.
happen.
Bummer.
No, damn it.
I'll check my store and send it to you. If you can't get it seriously, I will, because my store has my organic store or whatever, holistic store.
That's what I was thinking. I could share a picture of it.
Yeah.
Anybody sees it, tell me.
Yeah, please.
I
Bonnie
will
needs her
pay.
vitamins.
Now I'll send you a
Oh,
picture of it.
We're saved.
Oh shit!
If that's our savior, we're in trouble.
Not the savior, but he's definitely a hero among the white hats.
On a
Yeah.
side note, anybody heard from George?
Yeah, he's breathing, feeling a lot better.
That's good.
He can still use prayers and well wishes, but he's doing a lot better.
Excuse
That's
me.
good.
Echo, how was your day?
Hot.
Half naked and hot, and she says.
Nice.
I'm not
Go
one
ahead.
for dresses, but I put on a sundress today.
You and
See?
Bonnie match. Bonnie's a sundresser too.
Mine's tie-dyed. Kinda.
Cool.
I did too, and Vicky said I couldn't wear it unless I did my hair.
Please, Chuck. Man, we could do a fundraiser for Chuck. We could just put you. Come on, you can do it.
Yeah, Rabbit
No, we-
sent a link in a private over there. The perfect candidate that he'd try them out.
Hey, that's the leader of the white hats. Leave him alone. He's gonna save us from this deep shit we're in.
Yeah, like
You'll have to send it to me on Messenger. I can't look at it.
That's when you YouTube and ride a bike and you're not paying attention.
yeah, that's what you call fucked around and found out.
Something like that, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, we
I
can
still-
show that, but we can't show the Power Ranger? That's more violent.
We could probably show the Flintstones and get freaking taken down. You want to bet?
Plausible.
I don't know. I've never
Shift
seen a
kicker, it's
cartoon.
10,000.
Well, if we're gonna show cartoons, can we
10,000
do
like-
something like Tom and Jerry or something?
Well, if you put a cartoon, Bonnie, have you ever put a cartoon up? Like an old, like, something?
Can't
Bugs
do
Bunny?
it.
Oh, you can't do it. Okay. I didn't know if it's part of the agreements and terms.
Yeah, they get all mad.
Good
I don't know,
God.
I never read
50
those.
years, 50, whatever, 70 years ago, some of the stuff. Same
lifetime
time
ago.
medical documents get brought out is like the 75-year mark, man. Can't they like uncopyright everything after like 70 years? That would be really sweet.
Oh, they probably could. They're not going to because they make money. That's all they
Well,
care
if
about.
they're alive, they make money, but you know.
Here's a little short one for y'all.
If anyone can grab that link from Shift Cooker and put it in private chat, I'd be most happy.
I'll grab it in a second. I'm in the middle of.
I understand.
My other phone's charging. Let me see.
I don't mean right
8% of crime is going to turn into 110% and 130% and 150% unless exigent action is taken today. One of the things that can't get overlooked is you've got multiple policies that are beginning to impinge on one another. So you've got Prop 57 and the early releases, tens of thousands of people getting credits earlier than they should have. Think about if you're a victim. If the DA told you, hey, you're not going to see this person in your community. Then you're at Walmart this afternoon and you see him. The victims of crime are being traumatized from this thing. And then Prop 47 takes a bunch of felonies and turns them into misdemeanors. And so the same crimes that would have been stopped by the criminal justice system now are treated with a little slap on the wrist and go back outside. And then you get what you're seeing with these strong arm robberies in the middle of the day, in San Francisco or major cities with groups of thugs are breaking windows at gunpoint, stealing stuff en masse. Certainly, we've got evidence that community safety outcomes have gotten much, much worse. So the very things that we said we were attempting to achieve, we've got worse outcomes in both. So folks got to be held accountable. It's the bottom line.
Good luck with that. That whole accountable part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I somehow don't see that happening, even though it probably should.
And if you shut it down, they shut you down for it. Let's see.
Why is it getting hot up north and cold down south?
I don't know. I'm in
Damn
Minneapolis.
you,
Man, it's
polar
roasting.
shift. Yeah.
What link you talking about Shift put out there, Bonnie?
I think it was the vitamin one in chat.
Let me see if I can. I shrunk the text, so it's like I'm trying to read the paper from across the street.
I was going to say, you might want to enlarge that a little bit then.
I got it, Bonnie. It's going through now. Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. I used to have a little nephew that used to say "Welcome" instead of "You're welcome."
Yeah, 10,000
I sent you a picture of the one.
10,000 IU 250 count with having Amazon Prime, it's $9.97.
Not bad.
See, but it's a soft gel.
It's a
So
what?
Deb, I sent you a picture of what I take. It's a soft
Okay.
gel because
Okay.
I can only take 5,000 IU a day.
Okay.
So
I got it. No
that's why I
problem.
get the 10,000 because I can break them in half.
I love researching, so I'm your girl. So Echoes just had a naked hot day. Bonnie had a sundress hot day.
Not
And-
naked. Not
I'm
naked.
kidding. I'm kidding. I just wanted to tell about the rest of your
Well,
day.
I was going to say, if you're having a naked hot day, all you need is a bag of Cheetos and a beanbag chair, and you'll be all right.
Ooh,
Sticky
beanbags.
situation.
It's sticky, man.
Where'd I get all these orange freckles?
Exactly.
That ain't not right.
I told her she needs a mister.
Well, I mean, the whole reason to do that is because at some point someone's going to call and ask, "What are you doing?"
How do you like
AC's
this?
at
We're
work.
under flood warnings and stuff near here, and it's supposed to snow this coming weekend. 88 today.
Yeah.
I
what
feel
is
like
going
going
on?
swimming.
Yeah, and then you're going to be in the crap next week. It's what's happening in New York. It's what's happening. I mean, here, like I said, 40 degrees in a day. That's ridiculous.
Nothing unusual going on here.
And since when do they say fire warning for your county?
Oh, mine says that every day.
Best and worst weather money can buy.
Yeah, we're paying for it too, Chuck. Boy, we buy a lot of stuff, don't we? Jet fuel, all kinds of stuff.
Get that collider cranked up. Let's get the snow machines on.
I think we need to fly to the moon today, okay? Just in your backyard, but we'll try.
The funniest thing was my brother was hollering about the electric cars, and he was telling me all the details about it, and I'm just sitting there, yep. Oh, and don't forget you can't put the battery out. Yep. And he's like, you already know all this? And I said, yes. I have
like landfills of batteries. That's another problem, is how many batteries,
Yes,
Well,
and they cost 25,000 each.
Yeah, I was going to say, depending on what kind of battery for electric cars, it's anywhere between 17 to 25,000. You would think they would have invented a way to upcycle the batteries.
They did.
Or
the Edison
make it
battery, the
easier-
sodium one.
Or make it easier to repair.
So now they're going to a sodium battery.
No, they should have stuck with that. That's non-pollutant. The Edison battery, one that outlasts all of us. There's no money in it, so they stick with lithium. It's destructive but profitable.
Yeah, they don't care that it's destructive, do they?
You know, the way they figure it, it's not their problem. I'm sure they got some cool nanite scrubbers. They're not even worried about aging. Sure, they got a plan. Sure, it'll be awesome. We're all going to have ice cream.
Make money and subjugate us is, I believe, the plan. But
I'm sure the short-term goal for some of the pinheads, absolutely. But I think we got some go-getters, Meat. I think there's people that think they'll transcend this whole mess at the
there's
expense
probably
of
a few
everyone
those.
else.
Oh, I'm sure there's a few.
You guys see anything in a grocery store, any of your food that says don't? It's right here saying don't eat anything with the appeal sticker on it. It's APEEL. It's funded by the Gates and other WEF. And then right here says check the website and you can find that any info exactly is appeal. And it says, they even says they're not to use, they caution against it. The United States is putting it on it. They even tell you they don't buy it. If you're worried, in Canada so far, it's just on cucumbers and maybe apples. The U.S. is on avocados and apples and lemons.
But don't worry about it. It's all good.
Yeah, that's what they're
They got a
using.
good-
Where shit from Ohio that spilled. They're using it to coat your vegetables now.
Prank caller.
Let's see here. Yep. Who's
Hi, Ed. And yep, I saw that. Japan.
Yeah, Vicky sent that.
We're in trouble.
Let's see what kind of shit we can serve.
We're in trouble. Now we're in trouble right now? Shit.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Here's a video for y'all. This will make their heads explode.
Quad loops.
Boys are boys from the beginning. If you were born a boy, you stay a boy. Girls are girls right from the start. If you were born a girl, you stay a girl and grow up to be a lady. Everybody's fancy, everybody's fine. Your body's fancy, and so is mine. Only girls can be the mommies. Only boys can be the daddies, yes.
Yay.
Good old Mr. Rogers.
Oh, fuck.
I wonder
Yeah.
how much trouble a person would get if they got started singing that at some rallies.
I don't know.
Could get interesting.
It could.
Damn you, tinnitus.
My neighborhood just woke up. Echoing down the mountain. Wow.
Hey, Chuck, Annie wanted to know what was the name of that food label you said that they shouldn't eat?
All right, I'm fixing to grab it.
I need a hero.
No, that was the song that they just played. I'm here.
I know.
We're not talking about that, Rabbit.
It's still ringing in my head, though. Give me a second. That and naked on a beanbag with Cheetos. Give me a second to catch up.
Yeah.
Hey, what else can we do but laugh? The next step is insanity. We gotta keep sane.
No, there's nothing wrong with being a little insane. I'm the good kind of crazy.
Yes.
It said everyone ever.
Well, hey, everybody has said that, but I'm the different one. Because, you know, people are less, if they think you're crazy enough to do some stupid shit, they're less likely to fuck with you.
Right? That's what you're supposed to do if you get in trouble, is just act like a crazy white person.
Little
and
old
start, like,
lady
screaming.
that
Yeah.
nobody
Right.
feels the threat.
Or they give you a butthole between your eyes.
Hey, Bonnie.
Wait a
you
minute.
wanna-
What?
Don't even. I'm not going there. I'm not going there. Chuck.
This is
Explain
awesome.
yourself.
I was going to say, I believe
I
the more
really
appropriate
hate
term
that
is,
I'm a visual thinker at this moment.
Yeah,
I believe the
Kodak
more
moment.
appropriate term is chocolate starfish. I believe is the more appropriate term.
What? That's not appropriate. How's that more appropriate?
I don't
None
know.
of it is.
It sounded good. Like I said, I'm the good kind of crazy. What do you
Yeah,
want
you're the
from me?
one over there talking about tore up balloon knots. I'm not talking to you, Meat. You got problems.
Oh,
Never
Hey,
said I
man.
didn't.
Don't mess with me.
And
A
you didn't
little
plan all
birdie.
the other times, so don't start now.
Chuck's over there talking about ventilating people. I mean, geez.
a little
balloons?
birdie. A little
that's-
birdie told me that there's 5 of the heck with it balloons over Arizona, and
Yes.
nobody ever mentioned it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I saw it. I saw them. They're all over Phoenix. And I mean, 10 was on and Agent J's on, and I thought they'd cover it. But I had the clip. I still probably do have it. But yeah, 5 yellow Luft balloons.
That's a song, isn't it? Oh, no, it's 99.
No, it's
99 lift
99.
balloons.
God help us. Didn't they get what they
Yes.
needed before on the East
I got a
Coast?
strike playing that one time for that.
Up,
Yeah,
up and
those are
away.
And my beautiful balloon.
This is all Meat Puppet's fault.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll take the blame. I don't care.
Chuck helped.
Meat's like, whatever. This shit was broken when I got here.
It's
More
a
or less.
WTF kind of night, isn't it?
Well, it's what's that one Scarface line? You need guys like me, so you can
Yeah.
point at him and say, "There's the bad guy."
There's that bad guy. You need
Like,
me.
you talking to me? You talking to me?
Good old Tony Montana.
Thank you, Shift Kicker.
Did she find something? Because I have something funny to tell you, Bonnie.
Yeah, she found something.
I looked for it, the exact brand. I found a brand that I use, but I just kept looking. And the next thing I had to go, when shopping, came up one thing, and it wasn't, this was Google, by the way. And the other place took me to Germany. And gosh knows what they use there, but it said 1865. So if anybody knows German money conversion, if all fails, you can get them from Germany. I'm not kidding. I don't know why my phone did that. I was like, what?
Well, they use the euro, so you'll be all right.
How many people in the world do you know that takes vitamin A? Just
You.
vitamin A.
You.
And So how can it all of a sudden be gone? Because I have not taken all of it in the United States.
Was it readily available? Did you have a lot to choose from at one point?
Yeah.
Okay, China. That's the answer.
Chow now.
I was going to say most of it is shipping related because you got a bunch of containers stuck in port, some stuck
Ports are
overseas.
closed. 2 ports on the West Coast are closed because they have lack of laborers. Okay, 2,
Yeah.
and I know that
Yep.
for a fact too.
No. These say made in the USA, distributed in.
But the components are from Indo
Yeah,
wherever.
the ingredients.
I'm looking.
We don't even make blue jeans, Bonnie. I seriously doubt we make vitamins.
Oh, look for bioengineered on your vitamins too, by the way.
Or what did Chuck say earlier? Look for the appeal sticker on your vitamins.
Santa Cruz, California.
Wisconsin. I thought we were just yelling out places.
No. Ain't nobody want to go to California.
Damn weather.
Michael. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, and the government is all over this new drug that has come out, and it's all over the West Coast and the South and the Midwest.
Isn't that all of it? I mean, you just described all of it.
And they're calling it TRAQ.
Trank.
I am clueless what that would be.
Everybody needs Trank. Yeah, Trank causes holes in your body. You get all freaked out like a zombie. Great
Oh
stuff.
yeah. That's the one that has your flesh falling off your body.
Man, they're gonna
I
fix
heard about that.
all that's damn horse tranquilizer.
It's flesh eating, and no,
Only in long-term use.
they use the one for animals to stop the reaction of it, but it's not working on that specific one for some reason.
You know, as much as the government doesn't like competition, I'm amazed they allow these drug dealers to still exist.
What makes you think they're competition, meat?
Because
More like
they
foot
make
soldiers.
money off them. That's
Yeah.
why.
Well, I was gonna say, they
Distributors.
may not necessarily be competition. They could be the
Yeah.
distributors, but
Distributors.
Yeah,
Known as
yeah.
low-end employees.
Manufacturers, distributors. Yeah. Damn the Pusher Man.
Well, at least y'all most
Definitely.
of y'all can say you didn't see what I just watched. That was disturbing. I heard about it. I know there's a video of the Dalai Lama asking that little boy to suck his tongue.
No.
yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Oh,
Pass. Hard pass. Is it the real Dalai Lama or the fake one China put in place?
I don't know.
Oh,
it
quit.
You got
doesn't
the
matter.
exiled one, and then you got the poser. I mean, it's still disgusting. I'm just
Yeah, I
curious
was gonna
if
say
it's
at
really.
this point, does it matter?
Nah, still
We
nasty.
leave
I'm
our
just curious.
kids alone.
I think we're all in agreement that that's out the window.
Yeah, more forehead tattoos is all I think of.
Oh my gosh.
It's actually pretty ingenious. You know how much time it would take to deprogram Chuck? Like if we stuck him in a facility and tried to reprogram his brain, that's a lot of work. Better to go for the youngins. Let Chuck
That's
fade
my
out.
sign. That's gonna be my sign.
What?
Yeah, Ridge Runner, that's what it's about. That's nasty.
Eh.
Well, I'm not being mean about it, but that's a surefire way to cure them.
Oh my goodness.
Cure.
Pedophile.
We don't promote violence or any kind of drug use or any. We aren't doctors and we aren't lawyers and we
Tonight's
just
show was completely hypothetical. Nothing is real.
Yeah,
we're
we
not
just-
real, and you were never here.
yeah, we're just part of the matrix and we have information, random information.
It's a
We're
figment of
pretend-
your imagination.
Pretend internet people.
What's up, Don? Hey, Jerry.
Interpeeps. We're
I
interpeeps.
wasn't being violent. I was just talking about tattoos.
Yeah, okay. Butthole in the forehead.
Yep. Butthole tattoo.
Yeah.
Oh, let's get back to the balloons.
I don't want to talk about that. Damn it. You're probably on point, though. That's probably more relevant.
Yep.
Melvita Dalai Lama he's a leader of a religion, and I don't know what the religion is, but one of my friends is all in.
He's a Buddhist monk.
It's a Buddha.
I was going to say a Buddhist monk, I believe.
Okay.
It's all about Tibet and reincarnation.
Yep.
All I know
scuba
is
diving and rubbed a belly once of a Buddha for good luck. It was supposed to be.
Oh my
But
goodness.
I was in my 20s or whatever, and I didn't know the difference, so I did.
Was it at the airport and were the lights really bright, or did this
It was
really happen?
85 feet. It was in Cozumel, 85 feet down underwater, okay? With the
That's
neon
cool.
snake. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was the coolest scuba diving I ever did.
all I know is the friend can't be friends with me because of this religion, whatever it is.
I
Because I
remember
see-
making little Buddhas in ceramics when I was a little kid in school.
Oh goodness.
They
The
had
Buddha
us
thing
making
gets
all
pretty
kinds
deep.
of goofy ceramics when I was in school, and a lot of them were different religious stuff.
I don't think I've ever seen one, but my grandmother passed down to me it's what's it called? It's like a dragon dog thing, mug pug.
Dragon dog. I'm going to Google it. That sounds what? My grandma passed out. You know what? This is gold. This needs to be on every T-shirt everywhere.
But it's supposed to be evil now, I saw. And I'm like, no, I don't think she knew that because she was not evil.
They could take anything and make it evil. They could take a marshmallow and say it's evil.
I knew a marshmallow that was evil one time.
I'm a little scared that it was just the once, but all right, what you got?
I'm only joking, man. I just came in. How's everybody doing?
What's up, Yorga?
What's happening?
Hi, Yorga.
Trying to get my phone working here. Yeah, that evil marshmallow. It was that one I put in that campfire that time, and it got too burnt, and I put it in my mouth, and it burnt me.
It fought back.
It burnt.
Your guy, you got some stories because we've told ours, so it's your turn.
I'll be right back. Good night, Don Ritchie.
I don't know. What do you want to hear a story about? I thought about a funny one today that happened to me.
Well, anything
Hey,
funny. That'd be
Well,
good.
here's a funny joke. The government is telling the truth.
Oh, yes.
No, this is not a joke. I have all true stories.
Ah.
Yeah,
so
you
I
really
worked.
did.
So I worked at this factory, and for years and years and years. And I'll try not to make this too long. But remember back right after 9/11 when everybody was the anthrax? People were mailing, and everybody was freaked out about seeing white powder around and whatnot.
Sure.
Okay. So I'm working rotating shifts at this factory, and it's really hot. I got to wear a fireproof suit. It's 130 degrees. I'm kidding. It was terrible. I had to wear a headband. I couldn't do my job without a headband just because of the sweat. It was that bad.
Wait, I'm sorry. You had a fireproof suit, but the headband made all the difference, killer? I mean, damn.
It made all the difference so I could do my job so I didn't have sweat in my eyes all the time. I had to wear a fireproof suit because the process we used was highly flammable.
Oh, I got that. Yeah, I got that.
and it's hot as shit in there. It's hot as hell. And so anyway, as you go through a 12-hour shift and you're a man and you sweat, your whole body sweats and everything, every now and then you got to go into the bathroom and use a little powder, on your knee regions. You know what I mean? So there was this woman's bathroom that that nobody ever used at night. We had like 2 women that worked there, and they were there during the day. So at 3 o'clock in the morning, I know they're not going in there. It's the closest bathroom. I went in there to powder my stuff. You know what I mean? And apparently I spilled some, and I didn't think anything of it. And I went and finished my shift, and then I got off, and I went off on like a week's vacation. I went to the beach for like a week. And so I'm gone from work, and I come back, and I heard about this. There's all these papers out and everything about this, you know, so-and-so on Monday morning found white powder in the woman's bathroom, and they had a hazmat team and everybody coming there to find out if it was anthrax or it was just me powdering my balls.
It was talcum powder. That's funny.
Like, man, I saw all that shit and everything, and I never said a word to anybody. I was like,
I was going to ask you.
I thought it was funny as shit, man. Yeah, they had a full fucking meltdown over that shit. And they have their own fire department and everything, so they all go nuts. They were MIRT was medical emergency. All of them were in there, you know. I'm on vacation, you know. I'm on the beach trying to catch a fish or some shit. I felt like going back to him and going, it was just me. I was powdering my balls.
Yorka, only you.
That's a true story. That is a true story. Yeah, they had full out freaking meltdown over that shit. Oh my God.
They all go nuts.
I had no idea till like a week later. Like, oops. Oh well, that's
probably a good thing that you were gone for a few days, because you probably would have had a hard time keeping a straight face.
I would not. Yeah, I would have been guilty. Yeah, that somebody would have picked up on my facial something. God, it's quiet in here.
Yep. That's because I've had a long day and I'm just listening to the stories.
It is
Somebody
story
tell us-
time. It's story time for Yorga.
Somebody else tell a story. You want to hear the story about when I retired from there?
If it's
Sure, why
funny.
not?
That's a good one too, because I hated this place. I hated everybody I worked for. I hated everything. And I finally got to the point where actually I'd broken my foot, and I was going to go another 2 years, but that job was really hard. And even after 4 months being out with a broken foot, I came back and I tried to do the job. And it's a young man's job, man. It's like playing football every day. And I did 4 days. And I went to my boss. I was 56 years old. I went to my boss. It was 5 o'clock in the morning. He said, hey, how you doing? I said, I'm doing all right. He said, what's up? I said, I got to retire. He goes, really? When are you going to do that? Because normally you plan for it and, 3 months down the road, and then your checks start coming in and everything. It's a big corporation. I said, right now. He said, what? I said, yeah, I'm retiring. He said, what do you mean? When are you going to retire? I said, you don't understand. I'm not coming in tonight. I'm not. I've given this company enough of me. I'm the tool that's worn out. And I'm done, and that's it. He said, you're joking. I said, nope, I'm retiring. And so that caused a big stink in management, But all my coworkers I was like a hero, man. They were like, oh, he said, fuck you. And so they told me, they said, all right, don't come in tonight. They said, but you got to come back Monday. I said, why? I said, I'm done with this place. And they said, you got to come back Monday. This is a Friday. It was a Thursday. And I said, why? And they said, you got to come and you got to clean out your locker, and you got some papers you've got to sign, and yada, yada, yada. And they said, you're not going to get paid for a while. I said, I don't give a damn. I didn't get paid for 4 months. I didn't care. I was like, you know, and when they paid me 4 months later, it was all retro. So I got all that money back. Right. So I came in there Monday and I rolled up one of these roll up trash cans up to my locker. And I just took everything in my locker, man, and just threw it in there and went, all right, I'm done with that. What do I do now? They said, we got to come in and sign some papers. And I went in and signed these papers, and, you know, guys were kind of like sheepishly wishing me good luck and whatnot. The plant manager comes in there, you know, and he was pissed. He was pissed off, man. But it's like, what are you going to do? I got more time than you do. You know, I had 35 years of this company. And so when I was getting ready to leave, I went up to the front desk where everybody kind of hangs around, and it shows where everybody's working at that day and whatnot. You know, there's a clipboard right there. But right behind that was this big screen, like a big TV screen, and they have current events and bullshit like that. Watch your heart pressure, you know, or, you know, blood pressure, and, you know, stuff like that on it. And I was talking to a couple of people. I'm getting ready to split. And this girl I work with named Diana, she goes, Gary, well, sorry, that's my name. She goes, look at the board. And up on this thing, it said, you know, we're going to be doing this thing because me is retiring, and down it, we're going to have fellowship and, I don't know, cake and all this stuff. It was a retirement party for me. And I saw the thing and I went, oh, okay. And I walked out. They had, they had I never showed up to my own retirement party. I left. I got the hell out of there. I have my reasons for doing that because they did some real crappy stuff to me, but I got my pension. Everything's good. It's all good, you know, but yeah. And to this day, I'm like a hero down there, just the way I just went, you know what? I want what's mine and I'm out of here. See you later. And then I started getting these texts from guys who retired from where I retired from, and they want to go have breakfast every once a month, every Tuesday at Bob Evans or something. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be there. I never show up, man. I don't want to see any of them guys I used to work with, man. I hated all those people, man. Every time I go, yeah, I'll be here. I'll see you there. This has been going on for like 5 years, man. I'm like, yep, I'll be there. And I don't ever show up. Hell no. Never going to show up.
Instead of a meetup of Yorga, it's in memory of Yorga, huh?
No, you know, I had no connection to, you know, I had some friends down there and everything. I mean, that's different, you know, but some of these people that want to reminisce on how work used to, man, I don't want to talk about how work used to be, man. And man, I don't want to, screw that.
Yeah, if you're friends with them, they probably knew where you live and hung out with you. If they weren't, then you didn't have nothing in common with them.
I had a few. I had maybe 4. And you know, to this day we're still friends. But some of those other lifers and whatnot down there, they want to go back down to the factory and walk around and act like king shit or whatever, man. I don't want to step on that property, man. Hell no.
That's like me with AZZ.
Here's one for y'all real quick.
All right, breaking at this hour, all new at 2. President Biden on the ground in Ireland, his motorcade making his way through the streets there after a stunning security breach during the president's trip to Ireland.
Yeah, sensitive security information with details of President Biden's travels reportedly going missing, then later showing up tossed in the street. So who found those documents and who exactly dropped the ball here?
What?
I saw that, and some guy, and all he would say was his name was Bill, but he said he thought it was kind of odd that these secret documents were sitting in the street with coordinates and everything.
Didn't you hear about the Pentagon?
Was it by an ice cream stand? That's the only thing I waited to hear and didn't say.
The Pentagon lost a whole bunch of files like in the last week too, Bonnie. Like they just disappeared.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
And some of this is on the news. you know? What are you going to do? What are we going to do? You know, after the fact. Just like the balloons. After the fact.
Damn you, balloons.
I'm on a balloon kick. I'd like to have well, not right about now and fly up there in a hot air balloon, but it would have been fun a few years ago.
How do you control a balloon, though? That's what gets me. You know, once it goes up, you've got heat for
The
up and
gas.
down.
Yeah,
And
you
then,
got the
you know,
flame,
you're at the whims of the wind, I guess, you know.
Only control I'd say you had if you started cutting ropes, and then when it fell, that's the only control you had.
Not a damn hot air balloon. Damn it.
And you got those sandbags you got to cut off, you know, like in the old movies, you know.
You just blow on it if anything happens to the flame and you'll be fine.
That's not how it works. Damn it.
What do you mean?
No, it isn't.
What do you mean by that?
I'm kidding. Can you take a joke?
I can take a joke, but what are you trying to say?
I don't know. You're the one taking it somewhere. I don't want to go.
You're the one that took it here, baby.
You're in the gutter, baby. I can tell by your voice. Nah, he never goes in the gutter, ever.
Never. Not me.
You know that song by Lou Graham, Dirty White Boy? Is that your
Yeah.
theme song when you were a guitar playing, groupie, loving guy?
What about it?
Foreigner sung it too.
Just wondered if you were musicians and the ladies, you know?
Oh, I'm into ladies.
I didn't
Is that-
ask if you were into the ladies. Hopefully
Is
you
that,
are.
is that what you're wondering? Am I into
talking
ladies
about-
or am I kind of funny?
Did
No,
you
I'm in-
tour and have groupies? How simple does this question have to be?
I did. If I did tour, but it was more like AAA ball. You know what I mean? I wasn't, you know, the big, but I was, you know, in the like AAA
Class
baseball.
B section. Class B.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. AAA. Yeah.
Importance.
We did some really important gigs. We did a whole lot of important gigs, but I was never like, you know, it's
One of
like
them.
we open up for Kansas, you know, we open up for, you know, different acts, you know, like that, you know, but we weren't Kansas, you know, I mean, you know, it's one of those deals.
Okay, well, you get the leftovers, right? Kidding.
Oh, as far as
Kidding.
groupies go? Oh, shit. No. Yeah. Yeah, that was yeah. But I ain't got no stories about that.
They're not rated on this channel. Well, everybody 18 should have left anyway, but here we go again. Chuck.
Yo.
There. Just checking to see what are you researching?
Just whatever.
We all should be saying the pledge right now. To the flag and not the people in the office using it.
I remember sitting back in a football field and they had one up at night and had lights on it and for hours and wind watching it and the stars.
Yeah, I saw a picture with New York City that had 3 main buildings with 3 crosses on it. And then the comparison one was when they lit up the city pink because they were happy they could kill more, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't laugh. That is, yeah,
It's serious shit.
that is serious shit.
I miss Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, I don't even know if they do the Pledge of Allegiance in school anymore.
I think, I don't know. I don't know anybody.
You know what? I don't even think they have gym class in schools anymore. I was thinking about this today, and I don't know why. But you remember, I mean, this was a major kind of deal. I mean, I didn't care at the time, but do you remember when you had gym class in junior high school, and after gym class, you had to take a shower in front of you? You had to get naked in front of every person you knew in school, you know, all the men, all the boys, you know, and I don't think they do that shit anymore.
I don't know. They probably have 3 different locker rooms now, but
I hope they do.
You heard the story about my friend trying to light his passing gas with a butane lighter, and he did it in the locker room, and he set his buns hairs on fire and came screaming with no pants out of the locker room. And we talked about it for a long time.
Now that's cause for discipline right there. I'll tell you. That'll get you a demerit.
The embarrassment and humiliation was enough for this dude to last the rest of school.
Hey, we had a kid in 4th grade now, and I'm
What
old.
the
I'm way older than all. I'm way older than all y'all. We had a kid in 4th grade.
Just that one.
Look, he discovered he had a tick
back
on
in your
him.
buns hairs. What?
Butt hairs. He set his butt hairs on fire trying to light a fart.
Okay, I got the picture.
Sorry about the picture.
I'm trying not to die laughing.
He looked like Rod Stewart too. That was the problem. Is the dude actually won a contest and met Rod Stewart. He had the same hair and everything, and that just made it even funnier. Played in a band. He was the cool kid. Well, the cool kid came running, and I'm not saying upright either. He was trying to put it out. He was sitting on things.
Trust me, you can light a fart. You can. It is possible. And if you got a hairy ass, it's dangerous.
Yes.
We had a kid in 4th grade. His name was Andy. I'll never forget. In the middle of class, he started freaking out. This is 1968, 69. So back then things were different. And he realizes he's got a tick on his tallywhacker. And I can't remember exactly how it all went down. But the teacher said, I'll get it. And she takes him into the boys' bathroom, but all of us followed him in there to watch. Watch the teacher pull a tick off his thing, you know?
Can you're worried about locker rooms?
No, but I'm not worried about that. But I'm just saying what I thought about was that kid all the way up through high school was remembered as the guy that Miss Dean pulled a tick off his freaking ex.
Oh my
Hey, remember that time that Miss Dean, we went in the bathroom?
It was a woman?
Yeah. She was good looking too. She was a good looking woman. Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
She got it off of him. Hey, the most important thing is she got it off of him now.
What grade was this?
4th grade.
My gosh.
So you're good friends all of a sudden. Hey, I've got one too.
Yeah, man, I wish I'd have thought of that.
Don't they have
Miss Dean, I think I have one down here as well.
Well, why don't they go to a nurse's station or nurse's office or something
We didn't
like
have that. We didn't have a nurse. We didn't have a nurse in elementary school.
No, we did.
No, we didn't. No, we had Miss Dean.
Yeah.
She was a tick extractor.
I heard y'all say something about the pledge, and our school still does prayer and pledge.
Good.
I would imagine ours does too, just because there's like one school, well, two schools, and they're both very, very American flags and Jesus loves you and signs and everything.
We always did the pledge, and I was public school, but I just missed the drills where you had to get under your desk and all that shit. All my brothers and sisters had to do that. The nuclear, you know. But everywhere we went when I was a kid to different stores, you'd see these signs say fallout shelter. And it'd be an arrow like going down into a basement or something. I wish I had one of those signs.
The duck and cover, remember that when they used to just take us
Yeah.
all out? Yep.
Yeah.
On the hallways. Like it was really going to protect us. I'd rather get in my locker at that point.
We
Yeah,
only
but
did
I
better
also
off in your
remember them
locker.
bringing us to the fallout shelter too.
Yeah, I just did a little short inventory to check something because I ain't got any tea made. I'm gonna have to make a trip to Aldi's because I only got enough tea left to make 52 more gallons of tea.
It's okay, Chuck. We'll take over.
We'll take over, but please have Vicky have the phone in case you're MIA in about like 4 hours and we got to come looking for you. Okay.
No, I ain't going over this late. I'm just saying I got enough to make 52 gallons, so I got to plan a trip to go to Aldi's, which is like an hour ride.
Oh, only enough to make 52 gallons. You better hurry.
Yeah,
That's called prepping, baby.
I know. I'm breaking into mine. I'm actually breaking into mine.
You got enough sugar though?
No, I got enough sugar probably to make 5-10 gallons.
Get the pure cane sugar.
That's what I
good.
get.
Yeah.
Thought about
Did
finding,
they-
huh?
To think that you actually did an inventory and added up the gallons, how many you got left is saying something right there.
He's got a vice, man. We all got him.
I'm down to 52 gallons. Oh, shit.
He's
You
only
fill up
got
a swimming
about
pool with
15
52 gallons.
He has a warehouse of rice and he has one of beans too.
Now I've been
That's
burning
good.
through that. I need to go start getting more because the last 2 years I started burning it off in the last 6 months. I need to start picking it up. I wanted to make sure to get through it because I know beans after so long you can't cook them; they'll fall apart before they tenderize. So
I buy refried to do like I just like the easy like tortilla, beans, cheese, and beef or whatever, and just make a bunch up and freeze them, and then just eat them in halves or whatever, just little meals throughout the day.
make you a pot of brown beans, pinto beans, and just put you a couple in a skillet, put a tablespoon of lard in there, and fry them and mash them and fry them, and stir them around. You can throw onion in there if you want or whatever, but.
You just gave me an idea. What if you took refried beans, made them into a patty, and then put a coating of some sort on there and did like refried bean patties?
You could put egg. Yeah, I bet you if you put egg in it.
Black
it would-
beans. You could do it with black beans. That'd be good.
You know what I mean? Egg is that glue of you can make patties out of.
Have you a little bit of rice too and mash it up in it where it'll bind it, and egg and
Oh,
rice.
yeah.
Freeze it. Freeze the patty.
Yeah, that's a cool idea, Chuck. Now, we expect to see that on a live, okay, by next week or the week after.
Undated, I drink usually out of a 24-ounce mason jar. I don't have a quart jar around here. I don't know where it went. So
Why don't you just carry the whole gallon like a milk jug around with you?
I used to do that in bars. I'd go in bars and order a pitcher of beer, and I'd walk around and drink out of the pitcher.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people. Remember the margaritas where you would have like, what were they? I forgot how many ounces, 32-ounce margaritas. They had them at Mexican restaurants, and you could get multiple straws, and oh my gosh, they were strong.
They still sell them at most.
Yeah, I bet.
Most of it.
I don't drink anymore, though.
I don't either. They used to. I'd get tickled when they'd hand me a glass pitcher. Ooh, a fancy cup.
Yeah, that's some fancy. That's truth serum, man. That tequila. I mean, two couples, me and another, my husband and another couple, we drank big bottle, and then we drank a fifth. And we were up all night, and we told each other as married couples, like, deepest, darkest, funniest, most embarrassing things that we ever. And then the next day, we're all hungover and we got headaches, and we're calling each other, going, "You're gonna say anything, are you?"
Yeah,
No.
that's good
No.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Hey, Chuck,
Peppy
you
Lopez.
ever get one of the big glass pitchers and you go to pick it up and it goes whoop because it's plastic and you thought it was glass?
Yeah, I'm about to throw it through the ceiling.
Yeah, it's like a million times lighter than what you whoop. Shit. I never got drunk off a margarita. I've had quite a few of them.
Well, then
And they
do
go-
straight shots of tequila. Do some Cabo Wabo, Sammy Hagar's.
You think I might have already done that?
Well, did you think that tequila was good? I thought it tasted like gasoline, actually.
Oh, I've never had Cabo Wabo, but I've had plenty of tequila.
I'm allergic to the agave plant because I worked at restaurant bars, and the one bartender, she kept on feeding me these. I mean, week after week after week. Well, one day I got so sick they had to carry me out. Here's Deb, one person on one side with one arm around the neck, another person on the other side. And it was the only time I ever sat in the bar for 45 minutes and took up the bathroom just to throw up, and then they carried me out because my legs wouldn't work. Okay, that was like one of the last times I drank. But I'm allergic now to tequila.
Tequila's some terrible stuff, man.
It'll
Well,
eat your
at least it
gut
wasn't
out.
Mad Dog 2020.
That was
I drank that.
Mad Dog.
I drank that once. I drank Mad Dog 2020 once when I was 15. I drank a whole fifth of it. My arms and legs wouldn't move anymore. But I was perfectly straight. I was perfectly straight in my head. I was not fucked up or messed up in my head. I was perfectly straight, but I couldn't like stand up and never drank that shit again. Never.
I was 19 years old and I was staying at my sister's and I drank 2/5 of Mad Dog 2020. The first fifth I drank, I tried walking down her hallway and I felt like I was on a boat.
Yeah, your arms and legs don't work.
Yeah, and the second fifth, by that time, my ass was planted in her kitchen chair, not moving, and we were supposed to be playing spades. And I kept blacking out. I woke up the next day and I had heartburn from hell.
Yeah, it'll do it to you, won't it?
I came home, and again, I'm 15, so I'm living with my parents. I came home, went to the bathroom, and I started throwing up, and I hit everything but the toilet. I mean, it was going, blah, blah, you know, it was all purple, you know, because it's Mad Dog, you know. And my mom's knocking on the door going, "Are you okay in there?" And I'm okay.
Grape juice. It was just grape juice.
Yeah, I know. And she was so cool because after the fact, she cleaned everything up. And I was like, I know I'm busted and in terrible trouble. And she said, it's just a part of growing up. And she left me alone.
Wow.
No kidding. No kidding, man. I was like,
Thought you were a dead man.
I thought I was a dead man. Yeah. I think she was kind of laughing about it too, but still.
Well, so you see those internet meme videos where someone finds a bottle of Mad Dog and says like, "What's this?" They're like, "You don't want none of that, young girl. You wake up naked next to a dumpster wondering who you are."
There's something in that shit, man. That's like.
Oh, I'm sure.
more
I never touched any alcohol, but I plenty of relatives who did. And
Mad Dog, though, there's like a drug in there or something. It's got that drink in there or some shit. Man, I don't know what it is. There's something more than alcohol.
My mom my mom came to a party at my house. They had a clam bake, and she lived right next door. So my friends are all sitting there at the picnic table, got the umbrella over us, and we see Mom coming with one of the 3-liter bottles, the big ones with the little, they look like an old-timey jug. And
yeah, but what was in it? What was in it?
MD 2020.
Oh.
Yeah, brought it to the
with
party.
that, mix your little Cuervo with that. We used to call them pit bulls. Mad Dog and Cuervo.
I never even thought about mixing it with anything.
Oh God, no.
All it takes when you're drinking that shit is somebody, I dare you, and they don't have to get the rest out, and you're already starting to do it.
Yeah, don't do that. I dare you shit, because no.
Did y'all ever plug watermelons?
Yes.
Yeah, vodka.
With vodka.
Yep.
I put slow gin in it, the old cherry slow gin in one time. You talk about people, I feel like I ought to feel something. They go to get up, and they're like, okay, yeah, you're wobble-legged.
Slow gin fizzes. Okay, I've got a bad one. This is bad. I drank slow gin fizzes out of one of those big, huge. They used to give them away at Arby's or something. Those big old glasses. They were about 8-10 inches tall. So I drank one of those. Well, I got drunk and I started getting sick. Well, somehow I ended up in the back of the house. Okay, and I fell onto this mattress. I don't know why there was a mattress back there, but I fell onto it and I'm laying on it. And this guy comes up and he's ready to take a wee-wee on me. And I'm like, no. And he's like, oh, sorry, and then I realized to get off the mattress, I fell into a puddle. So now I'm wet, okay, from my waist down, Levi's completely, still sick. And I poke my head in the door and I go, I gotta go. And they're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I gotta go. So they take me home and I am throwing up. It's like 40 degrees out. I'm throwing up the whole way home out the window. I woke up in my bed naked with a blanket over me and a soup pan next to the bed. And that was one of those, not very many in my life, where I don't remember too much. But they got me at least undressed. My friends cared enough about me,
Yeah, you topped me on that one. Yeah.
I was 19 years old, and that was, we were out in the country down by Dog River, and we were away from everybody. And I was glad. Monte Carlo was kind of messed up, though, from me puking out the window.
Well, the thing is that you just remind me of another story.
Uh-oh.
I got stuck on a blind date in the back of a Pontiac Le Mans with this girl I really didn't like so much. We're all drinking. We're still in high school, so 16, 17, something like that. We're all drinking, and we used to just ride around all over the place, And she just talked. And I was like, she's getting on my nerves. This is supposed to be my date, whatever. And finally, she just goes, I got to get sick. And she slams her head out of the window, which was open, luckily, but it was freezing outside. And she yacked out the window of this Pontiac Le Mans, So, and it belonged to a buddy of mine, lived up the street from me. So we got rid of them and, got rid of the girls and everything and went on home and everything. And the next morning I got up and I walked up to my buddy's house who had his mom's car. And he's out there. There's frozen puke going down the side of the car. And he's out there with a bucket of hot water and throwing the hot water on it and then going, ooh. Yeah, he's getting ready to yak. And I just stood back like 10 paces, and watching him and laughing my ass off, as he's trying to hot wash this puke off this Pontiac Le Mans. It was great. There was chunks on there and stuff.
That's what Vicky used to laugh
You
about.
gotta get into the details. Thanks,
It was
Yorga.
frozen on the car, man. Yeah, it looked like chicken a la king or something like that. I was trying to figure out what she ate.
Yorga, I was like 12 years old, and I had Sue Healy sitting next to me on the school bus. Well, Sue Healy had brought lobster for lunch. God knows why you'd bring that cold in a bag. But anyway, she had lobster, and she had showed me the lobster. Well, I guess they ate lobster the night before. She turns over, she goes to talk to me, and she vomits all over me, like from my shoulders down. And I had to call my mom when I got to school. Susan Healy puked on me. I was crying my eyes out.
That's one of them moments you look at you and they like, hi.
But the thing is, when you got to puke, man. I mean, there's,
I should have
It's just-
stripped on the school bus, but I couldn't. I didn't have like strippable clothing. I wasn't wearing layers that day or anything. I was stuck smelling that the whole time.
First time we first
You
moved down
topped me
here,
again. You topped me again. I swear.
me and Vicky first moved down here to Louisiana after we got married, moved back down here. And I took her to Whataburger after we'd been out at the bar. And she's like, what all them people doing there? They order stuff. And next thing you see, the doors open. And I'm like, you'll see when we get up there. What everybody does, they'll order their food and then they hang their heads out and puke. And it's all the way through the drive-thru of Whataburger. It just like looked like they had a car wash from somebody that drove through the trash pile or something. Just puke running.
Y'all need to eat Crystal Burgers or White Castles because they're smaller and you can put away like 12 after a concert and be drunk and not puke.
Well, and Crystal Burger and not Whataburger, but Crystal Burger and White Castle were both made for drunk people coming out of bars.
That's what Whataburger. Everybody makes sure they had an empty stomach so they can enjoy their Whataburger and go to bed.
Oh, they puked beforehand.
Yeah.
Oh.
On the way up, Vicky goes, what in the fuck? And I said, they're dedicated. They want their Whataburger and they want to enjoy it. She goes, I ain't ever had a hamburger that good. And she got it. Oh, I see why. Now these are awesome. She goes, I ain't going to be puking in line with you bunch of you dumbass rednecks, but I'll.
You know when it's bad is when it comes out of your nose too, man. It's like,
Yeah. Oh, tell me about it.
You look like a lawn sprinkler.
When I had morning sickness and I had a chili bean come out of my nose, I'm going to tell ya. I didn't have chili for a long time after that.
No, that's worse than corn in the poop.
Hey, my daughter, she's like, Mom, morning sickness is terrible. I can't eat SpaghettiOs anymore.
No
Same
way.
thing happened to her, but with SpaghettiOs.
Oh, gosh.
No, I might. I had a buddy of mine. We were out. He was dry heaving, so we went somewhere. I can't remember. He got a fucking huge milkshake. He just gobbled a whole bunch of it real quick. He didn't get it all swallowed down. He's like, ice cream headache on top of him heaving. He started gagging, and he kept his mouth shut to keep from throwing up. Next thing you know, that ice cream was coming out, curling out of his nose. He looked like a miniature ice cream maker. I'm like, yeah, you go feel bad in the morning, but he ended up going to the emergency room the next day with such a bad sinus infection from that.
He had a milk infection in his freaking
How many people are still on your show?
Gobbling ice cream is still solid and it's still coming out your nose solid. That's messed up.
Somebody get a cup.
I'm thinking, oh my goodness. Gina H., is hilarious in the kitchen. I remember Strawberry Field. Cherry vodka was the bomb when I was in high school.
I like raspberry.
Yeah, that's when they started coming out with those flavors, and now they've even got them like pepper flavored vodka. I swear they tricked me one day, and they're like, "Hey, Deb, we got new vodka, and you're gonna love it." And I was like, "Okay." So they gave me a shot, and I was like, "Oh." Black pepper. Wow.
I have not touched vodka in 12 years, 13 years.
I don't like that shit. I tried to drink that stuff like I did Jack. When I drank Jack, drink vodka, it don't work the same way.
Don't work the same way. Nope.
I drank that on my 18th birthday. Remember, Manny got it for me.
Yeah.
And I got stupid.
Yeah, y'all like that fucking taco vodka. That's what I tried to drink, and I think I got alcohol poisoning. I was sick for a week. If I'd have went to the doctor the next day and he said, you're going to be dead in 20 minutes, I'd have believed him. I felt that bad.
Well, isn't dark liquor harder on you than clear liquor?
Supposedly, but the higher the price vodka, the more filtered it is and the better it is for you, but not taco. That's what they skim off before they pour the good stuff.
Oh, I remember Shenley's. Shenley's was the cheap stuff that I would drink up north.
I've heard both about white liquor and brown liquor. I've heard both. You know, don't drink that brown liquor, and then I've heard don't drink that Yellow liquor. Lisa baby. Lisa baby.
Yellow.
Don't drink the clear. It's probably shine.
Yeah, what I say? Yellow.
Galliano is the only yellow like liqueur
Well,
that
and certain tequilas are mezcal.
Oh, really?
You're
Yeah,
not,
mezcal, the one with the worm in it. Yeah.
it's not. You're not supposed to mix the light with the brown.
But they say, yeah, well, who is they? I've heard, don't drink that brown liquor, and now I've also heard, don't drink that white liquor.
I heard it a lot growing up from the older people.
Yeah, I remember they always used to say, don't mix your shit. And then they come out with them flaming Dr. Peppers where you dropping a shot of amaretto and 191 in a glass of beer that's on fire.
Oh, we
5
call
o'clock.
those flaming hurricanes.
Then at 5 o'clock in the morning, when you're out of everything else, you open up a bottle of wine and start doing it.
Yeah. Good thing about wine, though, when
got nothing else.
you run out of wine and go to bed, you wake up with a hangover, drink a big glass of water, and here comes the ride again. You're back on.
What's the rhyme? There's a rhyme like beer. You can drink beer and then wine, but not wine then beer, or it's a liquor wine thing. But there used to be a saying that we'd say, always drink such and such before such and such. Maybe somebody in chat can
Beer
help
to
me.
liquor, never sick, or beer to liquor to beer, never fear.
I'd be like, beer to wine will be just fine, or something like that.
We only drank wine when we had plenty of herb to smoke. Don't dump my.
Pour some Sprite in it. Wine. Spritzers. Good.
That's for people in California.
Not only California.
You call people who like electric cars?
The favorite here is Mexican
Who like electric cars?
margaritas.
Hey, Lisa. Hey, Gina.
Grass biter.
Yeah.
Not here. I don't drink, but that's what I sold the most of.
Me neither. I don't drink either.
Well, we've got enough stories, obviously, between all of us that there's good reason we don't drink anymore because we don't want to be stupid. We don't want to throw up. And plus, it's pretty hard on the stomach nowadays.
I drink beer. I'm drinking beer right now. I quit drinking liquor, though. I was doing both.
Oh, well, you finish off the night with the liquor?
No. Well, no. I was drinking beer, and then every now and then I do a shot of liquor, but I put the liquor away. And I was doing everything from Jack Daniels to vodka to gin.
Now we know why you got so silly. Now, finally, after all this time, it comes out. Liquor does it quicker.
Oh, you know my past.
Well, at least 3 years of it.
Really?
2, 3.
That much?
That's how long it's been, Yorga. I swear to God.
Golly, time flies, don't it?
Yeah, it does. And you were hysterical when you would get up on Ron's. You were just hysterical.
Gosh, that is a long time ago.
Yeah, it is.
Man, we need to remember that cat.
I tell you, we got a good group here, though. Everybody in chat, we love you. And everybody on panel, I love you. And we got a good fam going here.
Yeah, it went from Ron. And then when he passed away, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know he'd even passed away. And I'm kind of, I guess, online, I'm not all out there. I'm not on Instagram. I'm not, I'm
But
not.
if you would have a video, if you would have had one video, I was trying to comment, go to people's channels that I sub to and comment and try to let people know because there's still people that have disappeared that I can't find. But I would have put something on a video, like a comment, so you would have saw it.
I do have videos. I've got videos.
You do? Because I was looking for G2 also. I don't know what happened to him. Lots of people, Corey Tester. I mean, the list goes on.
But I'm not under Count Yorga. I'm under Stingray 1975. I've got some videos. They're not very good.
Well, I
But
don't think I might not have subbed to you at that time, but I went looking for you.
Oh, well now.
Yeah, I missed you.
Yeah, but once Ron passed away, and then people started reaching out to me, like Christina and Jeremy, and I was like, whoa. And they were doing lives and everything, and then I went down and visited them and was on one of their lives and whatnot.
Yeah, everything kind of like morphed into what it is today. But like I said, there's enough of us to go around, and we're all a little different channels, like Chuck's and Bonnie's. Everybody's just got a little spin on it, and so people are finding their homes now.
Yeah, me and Chuck have always been cool. From the minute I met that guy, him and I have always been cool.
I didn't realize he was in chats under different names back then.
Yeah, I didn't figure that out either till he turned into Texas Psycho Billy or something, and it just came up, and I went, wait a minute, that's Chuck. Awkward silence.
I'm sitting here talking away, and it was muted. We first met on Ron's. I
did that the other night ago.
Was Monkey Bone. I was under on Ron's, and we started talking. Then I changed on Ron's, and started. After that, it was just Chuck C, and I can't remember what else I had on it. But then I started hanging around Bonnie, and then we started going live. Then I decided 6 months after that to make a channel. Hey, Bush.
And there was a guy, one of the guys I missed was Donkey. What was his name? Donkey something.
That truck driver?
Yeah, truck driver guy with a big beard. He was funny.
Especially when that one guy that called everybody, what was it, Precious or whatever that guy used to call him?
Somebody did do that. I forget who.
And he stood up and he said, do I look precious? And he showed the camera all over him in his jeans and his work shirt and stuff. And he goes, them are some nice jeans. What was it? I can't remember. Bonnie, you remember that guy's name, don't you? But I don't want his name. But what was he used to call everybody?
Somebody did do that.
Adorable. Yeah, he called Donkey adorable.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, I think Donkey's still around, isn't he?
He's under a different name now.
Yeah.
But I can't even remember what his name was then. It was Donkey, House Donkey.
Yeah.
That's what he was. Yeah, he was great. Him and I became, somewhat friends and everything, and we exchanged phone numbers. I never called him. He told me his real name. I don't remember it. But he was funny. Man. He was a funny guy.
Yeah, Gina, they pop George every 20 minutes, just about every time he puts something out. But
we're glad that you found your way back.
Somehow. I don't know how. It's like I said, after Ron died, everything went away, and then a couple of people reached out to me, Yeah,
that's cool.
Hey,
I'm kind of hard to actually get in touch with in a way, but that's all good. I'm not trying to, and I've never tried to I don't want to be a YouTube personality or none of that. Never have. So if you get me, you get me. Some people like me, some people don't.
You still have to get it because you got the subscribers. You have to do a little guitar riffing. You do. You promised.
I just started playing again.
Okay. Get those fingertips all roughed up, and we want to hear it.
They're getting there. They're getting there slowly and surely. I don't want to overdo it so I don't get like big old water blisters, but they're actually getting there. Yeah, I just started playing the other. You know what? This is going to sound totally freaking goofy, but you want to know what got me playing again?
Daring and getting you 100 subscribers. We made you.
Oh, I know. I'm a made man. I heard, do you remember this song? I don't know how old you are, and I'm not going to ask you, but remember that old song, MacArthur's Park? Remember that?
Yeah, I'm 61 and I'm proud of it.
You what?
I'm 61 and I'm proud of it. I made it to 61.
Okay, I'm 63, so I'm older than you. But I heard that song the other day ago, and I went, I wonder what those chords are.
I don't know,
So-
but you just made me think of Winchester Cathedral. I don't know why.
Oh, I used to play that in when I was in the English Channel. We used to play Winchester Cathedral. Yeah,
That's a good song.
yeah, but MacArthur's Park is actually what it's called.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I wonder what those chords are, you know, dun 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 dun. And I've got a really high end acoustic guitar that's been sitting in the case for years, and I pulled it out. I cleaned it all up, put a new battery in it, put new strings on it, and I just started learning MacArthur's Park. And it was like, oh yeah, I was like, oh yeah, and my fingers are hurting, and my fingers aren't working like they normally are because it's muscle memory and everything else, and I got through a good, probably 1/4 of it, without learning the whole thing because it's incredibly complicated, but I got enough to make me kind of feel good. And then, so I play every day now, but I only play enough I'm like, all right, my finger's starting to hurt. Stop. Because I don't want to get those big old water blisters,
Does anybody else play an instrument here up on panel?
Nope.
I was trying to, but I could make enough with noise with a guitar and make you want to leave.
Well, beat
I
on some
doubt
drums.
that. I doubt that.
Sounds like two cats in heat that just got their tails run over with a rocking chair.
That's how I sound. That's how I sound on a violin. I've tried. It ain't good.
I could probably play maracas.
Probably
Yeah,
makes it look easy though.
I could do a rain stick.
Hey, you could do maracas as long as you have timing or a tambourine. You would not
Yep,
believe how much
tambourine.
that adds a ton to a song. But if your
Yeah.
timing is off, you got to go.
I can
And
play
how
the
about that cowbell?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Cowbell. That's old Mississippi Queen.
Yeah.
No.
I can play the triangle.
Makes you want to hear that song. I ain't heard that in forever.
And the wood block.
Leslie West was the guitar player.
Was that Mountain, wasn't it?
Mountain. Yeah, Leslie West. Gina says she plays guitar and sings, and Lisa says she plays flute. I love the flute. To be honest, my favorite instruments, if I could pick my first, would be the piano, which I know how a piano works, but I'm not a piano player. I know what the notes are and everything.
Right.
And then my second favorite instrument, you'd think I'd say guitar. It's not. It's the cello. I love the cello, and I love the flute. Oh, I played B-flat clarinet. Lisa says she played the clarinet. I played the B-flat clarinet in school. Alto saxophone, and I even played, believe it or not, the tuba and the sousaphone.
What's the
And-
hardest one to play? The clarinet?
Clarinet was an ass kicker. Yeah. You better have your shit together to play a clarinet.
I played the tuba and the drums in school. I loved
Yeah,
watching.
if you could play a trumpet, you could play a tuba. It's the same thing.
It's just bigger.
It's way bigger. Your whole head fits into the mouthpiece.
They
It's
tried
like
to get me to play the French tuba.
I remember a buddy of mine, his brother had in the hallway, or not in the hallway, but I guess you'd call it like the pantry room or whatever. Like one time or another, the old house that they had was probably a parlor, but had an old upright piano in there. And we'd come in drunk, and I learned the beginning chords of Fur Elise just by listening to it. I sit there go, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. That's all I learned on a piano.
I used to play The Exorcist on the piano, and it used to drive people crazy. I just start going, and people go, stop, it's creeping me out. I'm like, no, it's a cool piece of music.
Go listen to it in the dark closet.
That was Tubular Bells was the name of that album.
Oh
Anyway.
yeah, I remember that album.
Remember that? Tubular Bells. I love that album.
There was another one that was really good instrumental, and I think he was the same one. It wasn't something Hammer. They used to do Christmas. They did some of the Charlie Brown stuff. I thought it began with a W or an M. Mannheim Hammer.
Mannheim Steamroller.
Steamroller. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, they were good. They did a bunch of really good Christmas stuff.
And then there was Hocus Pocus by Focus. Can't forget them.
Yeah, you're gonna have to
play that. That's the one.
Man, a lot of people don't remember, and it's Mott the Hoople.
Oh, I love Mott the Hoople. We played the last band I was in. We did All the Young Dudes.
Yeah,
we did that, and we did Cleveland Rocks, stuff like that. Mott the Hoople. Oh, I love Mott the Hoople.
My favorite instrumental band is the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Yeah, they did the best. They did the best Christmas stuff. Trans-Siberian, and they had
I worked one of their concerts one year.
I used to love old Yngwie Malmsteen and Joe Satriani just because of the stuff that they put into their songs.
Yngwie was great. Yngwie basically is playing, and he doesn't hide away from this, but he basically plays who was the classical the very first rock star? Daggone it. It's right on the edge of my tongue.
Like Chuck Berry, then no.
No. Panini. I want to say his name is Panini or something like that. Paganini. Paganini was the very first rock star. He came out with long hair, played violin. This is back in the 1700s. And he would file down 3 of his strings that were almost about to break. And he would go through it, and one string would break, and he'd go through another one, and that string would break, and he'd get down to just that last string, and all the chicks in the front are going crazy and everything. And that's what Yngwie pulled all his licks from Paganini, the classical composer. Yeah, Paganini, the first rock star. See, you learn something every day.
Yep.
Not that you wanted to.
I remember they used to tell everybody, learn to play bass, because you can get into bass, bass can shift over to guitar, and I don't think it's easy to shift back and forth either way, is it?
It's not. Hold on. Let me cut this radio off. The bad thing about players is a lot of guys, right off the bat, you want to be a guitar player. And if you kind of get frustrated with that, then you go to bass. I got to be in a band, I'll go to bass. Then you get frustrated with that, then you go to drums. I got to be a drummer. I don't know how many people I know that are like this. And then when you flunk out of that, you become a sound man. And that doesn't make a good sound man. A guitar player does not make a good bass player. The best bass players are bass players.
Yeah.
I could play bass right now, but I'm probably going to sound like a guitar player playing a bass, if that makes any sense. I can do it. I can play the shit out of it. But you got to think bass. You got to think bass.
Six Flags, and I missed it because I had to take Benadryl, and it knocked me out.
Oh, that stuff. And some people can, they give it to you for itching eyes and eye problems too. But I took it for my eyes, and I realized what Benadryl was, and I did the same thing when I took it the first time.
Different people react differently. My daughter, she's wired if she takes it, but it knocks me.
Oh, it goes opposite on her?
Yeah.
Wow. I've never heard anybody that happening to. Just people getting sleepy.
I take it to go to sleep, but it doesn't really help. I can take 3 of them a night, and then I'll still have to
Oh my
struggle to go to
goodness.
sleep. Yeah,
I'd be in a 4-day coma.
I have to struggle to go to sleep. I guess I'm just a really hyper person or something.
You know what rocks me to sleep, Yoga? Listening to the ID channel, all them murder mysteries, trying to figure out who did what. I don't know if it's the droning voices on there or if it bores me to sleep, but I can put it on there. If it's not interesting or if I just want to go to sleep, close my eyes and shit, I'm out listening to that.
Do you know what I do? And I know what you're talking about, because I used to cut on like Me TV, and then like late at night it'd be Perry Mason and Twilight Zone, and I cut it down where I could just not understand what the words were, and I'd fall asleep. But you know what I do now, and this got something to do with you. There's a YouTube video. I just put in train sounds for sleeping, and it does like crickets, rain, and every now and then a train goes by. And it's 11 hours, man. I do that every night.
Well, I hear there. Every now and then a train goes by.
No, I know, but I don't. I grew up listening to trains, and now where I live, there's none near me, so I don't hear that shit anymore. So
if I fall asleep in my chair, I even get the feeling of the massage a little bit if they're bouncing through here.
That's the thing, is we've never lived anywhere that far from a train.
And that's now the way times are, that's the worst place to be.
yeah, I don't want one right next to my house, but off in the distance, it's that train sound. You hear that? It's like,
What'd you say, Bonnie?
Do you see chat?
No, I gotta click on it. Hang on, it takes me a minute to get
I'll
there.
tell you. Undated E said that you sound like the radio host Kim Commando.
I'm gonna have to check
Commando.
that out.
I don't know.
Thanks that I sound like anybody's broadcast voice. I think Chuck does too, actually.
actually, you do sound like Kim Commando. I know who she is.
Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing. Yeah, she and she's hot. She comes on. I think it's Sundays on talk radio, and she has a computer show.
Oh, okay.
All the latest things that are happening in the
tech world.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah, Kim Commando. Yeah, she's all right.
That's awesome. Thank
Hey,
you.
Billy. Hey, Booty. Hey, T.
Hi, Lisa.
Yeah, I was listening to different ones of those 432 hertz stuff. I got to where I was listening to the Indian music, but it made me have weird dreams.
You mean like your
I
show?
don't know if I could do Indian chanting music. You know what I mean? I don't know if I could sleep to that.
I can't sleep to that, and it's got that flute thing in there.
Yeah, that high pitch. It's too weird. Like, I don't know. I feel like I was like, you probably have dreams because you're on a beach in like Afghanistan or not a.
The Indian ones, the American Indians, I dream about
What?
I dream about foggy ponds and stuff like that. It's real soothing, but it's
I
weird.
love the Indian flute playing, and it's Native American Indian flute playing, not Afghanistan.
I was
Goodness.
just trying to get a tan here, and a bullet flew over me.
I don't know what comes out of my mouth when I puff and pass. You know what I mean? I don't pass, and maybe that's my problem.
Hello, can I help you?
I need somebody to pass to.
It's like, what's the cheapest vacation you could book? Honey, we're going to Afghanistan. We've got a place right on the beach. It's going to be fun.
It's a cave. It's a cave.
A cave with a view.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, now we all got a weird picture in our mind, and of Chuck laying on the beach drinking a Mai Tai.
No, I was actually, because I've got a passport, but I've never gone abroad, as they say. And I was thinking, where should I go? I'm going to go to Ukraine. Everything's probably cheap as shit there. There's probably women everywhere.
Go hang
Loose
out.
women.
Go hang
Loose
out.
Ukrainian women. That's right.
Go hang out and party on Easter Island.
Nah, Easter Island women are kind of it's kind of dried up there, from what I understand. Well, they got a bunch of big stones.
He's got people he calls. He's like, hey, man, any Yuki girls over there? You're talking to a Yuki girl, by the way.
What, Ukrainian?
Yeah, my mom or my grandma came from the Ukraine in 1919, and my parents were born in Canada, so I got French Canadian on one side and Ukrainian on the other.
Well, hook me up, because I'm going there.
I'll make you. I'll teach you how to make pierogies, man.
I don't know what it is, but you could teach me, baby.
They're filled ravioli, basically. They're Eastern European ravioli. They put potatoes and bacon and ham and sauerkraut or whatever in them.
Why don't you just set me up with some woman that already knows how to make that shit? That would be cool.
If you look around, I don't know where your area is, but you could possibly have like a Ukrainian festival there every year. And if you go there, you get to have the cabbage rolls and the borscht and the pierogies. Perohat is what they call them. That's the whatever way to say it, Ukrainian, Russian way to say it.
What language do they speak there?
Oh, Ukrainian, but it's like German, Ukrainian, and Russian all have that. It's like the difference between France people and Canadian French people. There is a crossover. They're not the same language, but there's a lot of crossovers.
Wow. Okay.
I
That's
could never
cool.
learn it. It's a really tough. I mean, my parents were fighting. My mom wanted to do French. My dad wanted me to learn Ukrainian. So I ended up with this French teacher named Mr. Boucher. Well, he was about 70 at that time, and he always used to talk so fast that he would get spit on the side of his mouth. And so I'd be sitting there in class going, swallowing, just swallowing, always swallowing. And I'm looking at him and I'm going, I'm grossing out, man. I'm grossing out. He needs to shut up. Somebody needs to tell this guy. And then I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I was like, he spits out of the side of his mouth. I said, he doesn't take a breath or anything. And I said, I don't want to take any class of any language, okay?
At least your teacher
And he had like
had
the
it
white,
coming out
like,
of the side of his
spittle.
mouth. My
He had like
science
the
teacher
white
would walk by and
spittle
spit
on
on
like the
us.
corners.
He would spit on people? What?
When he talked, he spit all the time.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
'cause he
those
was
teachers.
French.
Or they get like bad breath and they reach over your shoulder and tell you, like, try to do your paper, and you're like, oh man, yo.
Don't you know that's how you're supposed to learn the language, though, lady?
What,
You're
by
supposed to
smelling
see
people?
if you had gotten like spittle up in the corners of your mouth while you were trying to say Frequency Deutsch, he would have gone, you get an A.
Oh no, man! I wasn't gonna learn to saliva that.
Frequency Deutsch.
Oh, he was like French, because French, he spit and had it coming out of the side of his mouth. The dude just had a problem.
Maybe that's what's wrong with me. I'm French, believe it or not.
Half?
No.
You gotta
Probably
be
a third. A third.
German?
I'm French and yeah.
Yep.
So let's make it a fourth. I'm German, I'm French, and I'm Scotch-Irish. So yeah, American mutt.
Hey, Anti.
I'm 57. And we're Americans, by the way. When people ask you, that's what we say. We're Americans.
That's what I say.
Drop
Yeah.
the A. Yep, Americans.
I'm not a hyphenated American.
Yeah, that because most people that hyphenate whatever American, it's like, okay, you're putting somewhere else first. Go to that place then.
Thank you. Hey, I am a Franco-American, though. We make SpaghettiOs and shit.
Hey, Andy. Bonnie.
No, everybody went to bed.
What?
Yeah, some are
Just wanted to
dropping
make sure
off.
you're there. I wondered if you wanted to had any cool songs like you always do on your 30 screens you have open. You always can pull one out of your pocket. Something feisty. Maybe one of the songs. I want to see. We can't even get away with playing like that. The orchestra type things either, like the ones we were talking about. Let alone Hocus Pocus by Focus.
Tissue.
They had that one song.
No, yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah, there was a lot of one-hit wonders.
Yeah.
But to my knowledge, it used to be when there was Napster and all those free streaming services and you could record stuff. When MP3s came out, I was under the impression that at that time that it was a 10-year, you could have 10-year copyright and then you could get royalties for however long, forever. But I don't know why it all changed or if it just changed on these platforms and as a rule, because people do covers and then how do they get to do covers on YouTube? Makes no sense.
Years ago on YouTube, they were much more stricter. In fact, you couldn't even look up the lyrics for a certain song without it being prohibited.
Well,
You know what I mean?
UK plays all night long. They will play songs. They will play Pink Floyd. They will play, current bands, past bands, and they don't get struck. They just don't.
Maybe they are paying ASCAP or BMI.
No, this is just a normal dude. His name is Ron, actually. But
Well,
anyway,
he's getting away with it then, I guess.
he even did a lyric one where everybody could, because he goes, I want everyone to see the lyrics. But he was Peter Gabriel, Genesis, Pink Floyd. It was, and I'm just like, why don't you people get struck like people do here? It's not
I don't
fair.
know. But you know what ASCAP and BMI are, right?
Yeah.
American Society of Composers and Producers or something like that. But we used to, I played in bars for forever, and even the bars had to pay, and they put that triangle sticker on their window saying we paid ASCAP, and they'd have ASCAP would have I guess you call them agents or whatever that would go to different bars and to make sure, because even if they were just playing songs off the jukebox, it's copyrighted stuff. And when bands came in and played cover music like we did, it was all copywritten things. And they either had to pay ASCAP or BMI, or if ASCAP or BMI came in and, found out they were not paying their dues, they would shut them down, man. They would shut them freaking down. I know, believe it or not, I know the guy who wrote Wheel in the Sky by Journey. I freaking know the guy. And he wrote Ooh, Anytime That You Want Me by Journey, their first album. He was the singer for Journey in the early days, and they kicked him out and they got Steve Perry, but they still kept some of his songs. So I know this guy. His name is Robert Fleischman. He's still around. But
Did you
just
see
through
who
those,
replaces him? Did you see the guy who replaced him? The Asian
Yes.
guy? Oh my
no,
gosh.
I'm talking. No. Go back even before that.
I'm saying lately though. Have you
Yeah.
noticed?
His name is what is his name? Aaron or shit. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
He did. Yeah, he was discovered by YouTube videos, and this other
Yeah.
guy who worked at Home Depot is now the lead singer for Boston.
Oh, I don't doubt
Yeah,
that whatsoever. There's so much talent out there. But the point I was going to get to is this guy I know who wrote these big time songs. He lives a life of luxury just through the royalties that come through ASCAP and BMI he wrote "Wheel in the Sky" by Journey.
Oh, wasn't John McCain real instrumental in the songs that he wrote some for Journey?
No, John McCain went for president in 1980 or something.
No. This is other McCain. You know what I'm talking about.
I do. I forget what it's. Yes, and he did.
You never see him perform. I did see him perform and his wife, but he has written some of the most classic kick butt songs that will go on forever.
They almost got him back lately, the guy you're talking about, and something fell through, and there's all this legal stuff going on through Journey. It's terrible. You know, some of these big bands like Motley Crue, same thing. All these legal suits and whatnot. What is that guy's name? Something McCain. I know who you're talking about. Keyboard player.
Who the heck is a Canada? No, this is not. Yeah, he is a keyboard player. He's a pianist. But Edward McCain. Edward McCain. It's not that thing that I'm trying to pay attention to, chat, but I have an attention span of a fly right now.
Me too. But somebody just said the new singer's name is Arnell, the Filipino guy.
Okay. Yeah, and it was just really cool that somebody who was just trying, and he sounded so good.
He's brilliant. Yeah.
And was pulled out of an $11 an hour job at that point and is now on stage with Boston. I mean, he was in his glory. I mean, he was just starstruck. Like when he first started, he was, I mean, how cool is that?
Super cool. It's one of the good things from the internet, which there aren't that many.
Well, you can use it for good or bad. It's your choice every day that you are on there. Definitely have choice. You porn surfer. I'm kidding.
How did you know that?
I don't know. Pornhub probably. Is that what your favorite hangout?
No.
Well, that's good.
My favorite hangout is hanging out with you guys. I'm actually more boring than I think I come off as.
Well, we all live the life of luxury, and we all are just always going out and about and traveling and everything. So you fit right in.
You know what my days consist of now? Is working on my damn lawnmower.
And playing your guitar.
Trying to replace parts on my lawnmower and getting it. I'm a quite boring person.
That's what I did most of the day, getting the motor pulled off. I bought me a Honda engine to go on it.
Get them while they're hot, Chuck. I'm sure these parts and stuff, I mean, they're already having problems getting car parts, so.
Yeah, I guess Florida's getting hammered with flash floods and stuff. It's showing a video here of the airport with planes driving in water.
Damn.
Fort Lauderdale.
That's another thing. Remember when they said there was a computer glitch and there was all these flights across the United States canceled? This was about a couple weeks ago. What the real reason was, the magnetic force took a hit, and if anybody went above a certain, with the solar flares and everything, if anybody went above a certain, they would literally, the planes would just go poof and burn up. And that was there was no computer glitch. And I was like, makes sense, because I've been watching what's going on. And I mean, I don't know how far they fly up. What is it, 60,000? 80,000? I have no clue. 100,000? I don't know about planes. Anyway, that they would literally, the temperature would be too hot. Is everybody there?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't mean to shut everybody up.
Looking at chat.
I'm looking at stuff to see if I can find anything interesting to pop up here.
I just think you should look for the 5 balloons thing. God, I'm trying to see what channel it was on. There's a good one called ANN. It's a guy that just does little shorts all day. and he is really good at getting the point across without having to watch something that lasts 10 or 15 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
And it's ANN, and I think he's in Arizona, actually. Nice guy. Like Dee was saying today, we like boots on the ground information, talking to each other. I saw planes, I saw helicopters, this is going on, you know, my chickens are sick, whatever. And we get so much more information just because of all the communities across that we represent, you know. Pretty diverse from one state to the city to the country, you know. I'm gonna start singing from the mountains to the valleys.
Keep going.
Somebody's got too much idle time. They ought to invest their mind space, and if they want to invent something a little bit opposite way, this is stupid. Y'all are gonna laugh. It's ridiculous.
I got an invention.
Here it comes. Let's see.
It won't last 5 miles.
Why didn't he just
funny.
build it like a tank? If he would have built it like a tank, it would have worked out. If he would have had the what do you call it?
Tracks.
You know, like tracks, yeah.
Yeah, with tracks it might have worked, but
It looked like it was on a track, but that square part ain't gonna cut it. First little curve, bump, whatever. He's going. Well, I don't know if he can go fast enough to be flung off of it.
Could he make it like an airboat? Could he make it airboat, like an airboat down the pavement? That would be pretty cool.
Sounded like he was dragging a sheet of plywood.
if you could make an airboat out of a bicycle with square wheels, I would put money into that shit, baby.
Well, this is the thing, Bonnie. Have you ever been on one of those boats?
Put in a dark closet.
Wait, what?
Have you ever been on an airboat?
How do you get an
No, but I
airboat
want
on a
you-
bicycle with square wheels?
I want to so bad. That's
Yeah.
the only one and only reason I want to go to Louisiana, because that's the only place I've ever seen them. But yes,
They
I
got
want
them
to
in
go on.
Florida. They
It
got them
is
in
a
Florida.
rush. Yeah, it's a rush.
Florida's too far.
Anywhere with swampland, you'll find one.
When I was
Yep.
working doing underground burial telephone lines, one of the customers ran into, he had one, and he had it out there in his backyard in one of the camper covers, things like an awning to cover the camper. And his thing, I forget how many horsepower motor it had on it, but it was like a helicopter engine or something to that effect. And I'm like, well, he said something about, well, I actually want to look at it because I was in there peeking at it. I said, I don't want to get in the way. You have to drag it out. He goes, I don't have to drag it out. We'll get a truck or anything, drag it out. He goes, I can crank it up. I can fly all over the yard with that thing with it on the trailer. Like, dude, what? He cranked it up, was going around the yard. Literally, when he cranked it up, the tongue would come up and it'd barely be on the wheels. And he goes, I can launch it. And he goes, watch this. And he hopped it and it would come up off the ground about 3-4 feet. And he'd set it back down. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want that. I'd kill myself with that thing.
Go fishing with it.
He goes, if I wanted to, he goes, I could load it up on my trailer in the parking lot from the water. He goes, I wouldn't even have to pull my truck out there. But it's like, I said, why don't you play with it more? And he goes, because it's scary and most people want to get out there and drink and then they want to try to drive it. And he goes, that's the thing, you don't want to be out there drunk.
It's got like tank controls on it, doesn't it?
Yep. Yeah, 2 sticks and 2 pedals.
I want to drive one.
It was neat. It was big. Hell, it was probably, the boat it was on itself was probably 20, 25 feet long.
Yeah, it's a giant John boat, isn't it?
Yeah, this one was different. It was made out of shit. That stuff was like plate aluminum. That wasn't no John boat aluminum. It was. And it had like rollers on the bottom, so I guess when he hit any kind of land, it would roll on it.
Good.
What do you do for fun? I go out on my airboat.
I got a regular boat.
I had one. I wish I'd have kept my. I got rid of my.
I got a DP 19 foot. It's actually 21 foot with the swim platform on, with a cabin. Yeah, it's fun as shit.
I can get the damn Boston Whaler. I had a 18-foot Boston Whaler that I sold because I thought I wanted a party barge. No, I didn't want a party barge. If you got room for 20 people to go, and there ain't no fishing on it, I've been better off that Boston Whaler because I can shoot a can through the floor in a Boston Whaler and it won't sink.
I'm not crazy about the pontoon boats, and I knew a guy who sunk one. No shit. One of the pontoons got punctured. I don't know how, but yeah, they sunk that thing. It was like a houseboat too.
Yeah, it don't take long when it takes on water. They ain't bladdered either. They're one solid long tank is all it is.
Yep, that's
Bonnie,
it.
Turn your mic up a little bit or say something.
Who?
Bonnie.
What? Check. What?
Okay. Chat was saying that you sounded like you were like way far away. But you sound okay.
I'm chatting in chat.
I'm chatting in chat on my other phone too. I should have just chatted to you, but I just wanted to just tell you since I'm here.
I'm gonna mute and roll some cigarettes. You guys keep chatting.
Oh, here comes it's gonna sound like he's drilling holes in his wall.
It's the dentist.
It's a dentist.
Yeah, I think he's pulled his own teeth out with pliers and stuff. Yeah, I think he has.
Yeah, but that ain't my favorite. Most people's favorite subject anyway.
Well, some of it. No.
Remember the guy on Rudolph? I want to be a dentist. That's a trivia question. What was his name? I think it was Hermie.
Hermie or Hermes? Yeah, I know you're talking about one little like curly-haired guy.
He put all the teeth out of Bumbles.
Yep.
I want to be a dentist. You remember when we were kids, they used to show us some TV shows that were actually quite upsetting. Rudolph was one. Wizard of Oz was another one. That, once those flying monkeys came out, and I'm like 3 years old or 4 or whatever, man, I'm scared to death, man.
There was a movie that I'll never forget that my brother, who was 7 years older, made me watch, and it probably is still on today. It's a black and white movie, but it's called Black Sunday. And when I saw that movie, the visions from that movie are still in my head today.
I have those. I have from watching Twilight Zone and Alfred Hitchcock Presents when I was a little kid.
You got flashbacks?
I'd be like half asleep, but watching, and then get these black and white dreams from hell of some lady getting thrown down a staircase and then being dead at the bottom. And I'm going,
here's a question for everybody. For everybody on panel. The question is, do you dream as much now as you dreamed years ago? Or do you not dream at all and don't remember them? I've had 3 dreams in 3 years.
I have dreams that are really chaotic. And it's almost like I'm at work, but I'm behind and I can't get it together. And I'm trying to get all this stuff together to get the product out or whatever. You know, it could be everything is like I'm kind of freaking out, you know. So I don't have good dreams anymore.
There's a man with a gun over there.
My chief.
Telling me, got to beware. It's time we stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Buffalo, Springfield.
I didn't mean to shut you up. What?
That's a good song.
So take it.
But go back to the dreams. Go back to the dreams. What kind of dreams do people have?
I sleep like a baby, and I don't even know if I have dreams, but I listen to that wonky ass murder mystery stuff.
Night Echo. Sorry, everything's behind on my screen here.
I didn't even hear her. Oh, there she is.
Okay, I thought she said goodnight to somebody in chat, and then all of a sudden, boop, she's gone.
Hey, Vicky.
Y'all were all roboting to me. I couldn't hear nothing.
I was just gonna say, could I tell Pooty Poot it could be kennel cough? It's called
yes,
brucellosis.
Now we lost Deb.
Bordetella.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Every time whatever you call it, board the dog, we have to give him a shot for that.
I have dreams, but they're all crazy. They're all crazy dreams.
That Indian flute music and drum music, it like I said, it makes me have weird dreams, but it's like foggy ponds and in the woods stuff. It's quiet and calm, but it's just...
That's not weird. That's
Indian.
That's cool. I wouldn't mind those dreams.
You find them 432 hertz Indian something music. I can't remember what it... Native American music.
You know what? I want to experiment with that, though, Chuck. I want to experiment with that because the A note is 440 hertz, and that's the second string down. You know about a guitar.
Yeah.
I want to tune mine to 432, and then all the other strings would, whatever those frequencies would go with that A432. And just kind of see what that's like, because it's a very slight drop from 440, what everybody's used to hearing. But yeah, I've looked into that 432 hertz thing, and they say there's something to it.
It's the heart frequency. It's the heart frequency. Yeah.
My heart is doing that?
The heart frequency is 432. If you listen to any of those type frequencies as music or just as a tone, it calms you. It's just like the Earth's resonance has a heartbeat, and there's actually videos. You can barely hear it, but you don't need to hear it for long, and it can actually like ground you and make you calm after you listen to it for like 30 seconds to a minute. But yeah, frequency healing is something they tried to bring out in the 20s and 30s and 40s, and people basically got ousted over it and got thrown out of being doctors and stuff. But yeah,
maybe it's because they were onto something.
Well, and there's a video that I have. There's a video that I had that said that there's a forbidden sound in music that they took out a long time ago. And I believe that's why listening to things on an album is different, and listening to live is different. So the rest is kind of like they did take the note away. They took the note or the frequency or whatever out of music. I think when
It's
it
the
digitized.
frequency. All the old
is-
cathedrals that had those balls on the top with the antennas and everything, that's that's why they went to those cathedrals for healing. The organ music, everything was all in tune with that frequency.
Okay. Wow. Because music is soothing to the soul. So even with something missing, I still enjoy it. But there's a whole thing that a guy did, how it showed exactly how it got transformed over the years. And it was around, I think, the 80s or 90s when it actually happened.
No, way before that. I want to say it was the 1880s.
No, I'm
Or the
talking
18
about somebody did a documentary and they said that they really started messing with it when their MP3s came out and then those little, what was it, Blu-ray? And then that's when the visual and the audio started being messed with.
I think the audio was way before that because it's when they started playing it louder and
It digitized. That makes a difference.
well, yeah. I mean, anything with digital is going to be the like the cell phones, the radiation stuff. But I'm talking about the megahertz is a different type of thing, and something with that has to do with, I think, the stampedes, the people getting crushed at the concerts. There's something going on there. And then Jerry Lee said frequency of water. So there is one with the living water also. I'm not sure if it's the same, but
Here's the stuff I'm talking about real quick.
okay.
Oh, no, that's.
Yes, I absolutely love that.
You do. It makes my ear pop.
Sorry.
That's the stuff right there to make me dream about like foggy ponds and.
When I played a flute, that's kind of music I like to play. And I always wanted to play a wooden flute, even though the band director said that's dinosaur age. I don't care. I like the way it sounds. I like the way the horn thing sounds. And I know we're not supposed to like that. It's okay. I like it back whenever they would use it, whenever they were in trouble, not for the evil stuff.
That is the sound of the Indian flute is a wooden flute. It's not a
Yes, and it's
European
long.
flute.
It's like
Yeah.
they're all hooked together. Each one has its own note.
Yeah. Oh no.
I like the sound of ocarina.
This is what I used to listen to the most.
Why is Mitch pooping himself? I don't know.
DNA repair.
I've got that video. I've got that video in a playlist. It's a private playlist, but I have every healing frequency for everything from gallstones to, I mean, it's amazing. And you got to be careful because some of them are obviously plants, planted there. So I go for the ones that are like 9-10 years old when I do the frequency stuff because.
Probably.
But you always hear those when you, like, if you go to a therapist office or a
nowadays, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't see
Any of those places where they're trying to get you to relax.
Let's say. The 432 hertz healing music.
Me and Bear listen to 432 hertz. It's for heart and of the animals too. It helps. That's the same exact frequency they have.
But getting back to what I was saying, all I actually looked into this a little bit, and they said back in the 16 or 1700s, when all these classical composers, Mozart, Beethoven, all these guys, they were trying to, and back then there was nothing electronic to tell you what frequencies were. I don't know how they did it, but they were trying to figure out, because all music was on paper. You know what I mean? You give it to an orchestra and they, but where do you tune to? So they were all arguing about, what is it,
Tuning forks go way
432?
back.
Is it 438? Is it 440? Whatever. So they all settled on 440 for the A note. The A note at 440 hertz.
Not 444. 440? Really?
Yeah, 440. Yeah, 440 for A. And that's what, if you put on an AC/DC album or Deep Purple or whatever, they're played in 448. Black Sabbath played in E flat, so they're a little bit less. But I want to really try this 432 thing, because it's not that far off. In fact, it sounds just a little bit flat of an A. A little bit. Somebody wrote up here 438 a second ago, and 438 is so close to 440, it's not going to make that much of a difference. 432.
Yeah, but it would add. What would it do? How cool would it be if it added something to your music that you could say to other people, "Hey, try this on your guitar." You know what I mean? Because it may be a soothing. I mean, you just may be listen real close when you do it, and do a recording of before you do it to the guitar and afterwards, and see what the differences is. How you feel.
I want to. In fact, there's videos of people doing exactly that. They're playing guitar in 440, and then it'll go to 432, and you really can't. It's debatable for me, but if 432 is the shit, then I kind of want to try it.
Conspiracy Music Guru has some of that kind of music that he's recorded. Not the conspiracy music guy that we're familiar with as that
There's
comes
two?
into the chat, but Conspiracy Music Guru.
Oh, I didn't know there was another one.
Yeah, I've been watching him for years.
Oh, cool. Yeah, y'all are finding. Bonnie found that. Shared that link, and I've shared it with people. It's really cool. You got to be you do have to be a guitar lover, though. I mean, I saw people actually in a chat that said, "I don't like music," and I was like, I don't know. Out of all the people in this chat, I bet every single one of us almost likes music.
I have a love-hate relationship with it.
Well, come on. I mean, but you like turning the radio on, right? And you just do your work or whatever and listen?
Sometimes, most times I listen to talk radio.
That's the
believe it
only
or not.
other option. I have a friend who doesn't listen to any music, and all he listens to is talk radio. And I'm like, I would be suicidal at this point. Especially
The thing is with me, and what you maybe, I don't want to say. Here's what you need to understand: the bad thing about me is when I hear music, I'm always
critiquing it.
That's not the word I'm looking for, but yes, I'm always analyzing it, and I'm always going, okay, I think that's an A, that's a D. So my brain just goes into this weird thing where sometimes I can't enjoy music. You know what I mean? Because I'm always trying to tear it apart and put the pieces together and then go, oh, that's how they do it. And then it ends up just being this mechanical thing with me.
You got a Rubik's Cube in your head for music.
Something like that. My youngest daughter turned me on to this music called Dream Pop, which is just it's not predictable, and it's just kind of cool, and it's there's no lead guitar solos or anything. And that stuff, certain things like that, and like classical music or like jazz, I can just put on and listen to, and I'm not constantly analyzing everything that's going on, where just plain old rock music, that's what I'm good at, and that's what I play. I don't listen to that shit. I don't listen to this stuff, because it bores me in a lot of ways. I kind of like to find something that's gonna be unpredictable and challenging to my ear, I guess. Does that make sense?
You guys see the new thing? They're fucking pulling a bunch of it happened today in Illinois. Look at this. These schools calling in shootings, and the police go there and find out it ain't.
Anybody hurt? No. Anybody see anything? No. Okay.
Guys behind the desk, we gotta check it. Can you stand up for us, please?
A bunch of schools in Illinois got multiple. They say calling school shootings, they go there and there's nothing. So that's the new craze now.
Great.
Cry wolf.
I swear.
That's like the thing that tore up them churches and stuff, or that defaced them and broke them into them and all that. Another trans thing, I guess they decided no punishment, no jail time. That teaches them, okay, you do bad things, you can get away with it.
Yeah, well, here, if you call 911 and it's a fake call, you can get in big trouble. I think they should too.
I guess Biden's people wanted to let that person go for doing all the things they did to the church, school, or whatever. They went in and tore it up, spray painted stuff. I don't know if it's they or a person, but no charges or no time. So I guess you do something wrong, scream that you don't know what you are, and they'll let you get away with it.
I murdered somebody. I'm a they.
Watch that word. You got to watch how you say things.
You are good. Daniel has a question for you.
Yeah, I just wrote it back. I said both. I use electric tuners. If I'm doing a gig, for sure, I use electronic tuner. But if I'm just farting around at home, I'll just pluck one of my guitars and hit an E, and then I hit an E on my guitar and then go through,
Yeah, Mitch said it's been happening in New Jersey, too.
People are crazy anymore, man. I don't know what to think of this world, man. I can kind of just sit back and watch it all go by.
Now, what are they trying to create out of this? What do you think, Jorg? I think it's okay. It's normal. It's just going to be bullshit. Don't nobody worry about going and looking, and then next thing you know.
I look at it like when I was a teenager, my parents thought we were all crazy because we had long hair and we were, and they didn't understand us. And now I'm kind of at that point where everyone, the majority of people I contact, in my life or around me were babies 20 years ago. And so I got to think about how they were brought up with video games and with not saying anything bad about video games. I like that shit, but we didn't have, we had a creek. We had a creek. That's where we played,
Yeah, we get up under our parents' noses because we go around and either we get our jobs and our chores done and carry our ass and not be where we can be seen, because if you're seen, you're usually in trouble or you're put to work. So.
Right. But things are so different now. And now I'm in a world where 20 years ago, everybody was a baby. At one point I was a baby, so it doesn't really, that's not the point, but it's like, I feel like I'm a stranger in a strange land a lot of times.
I remember, go spray it off those. You're not bleeding that bad. Let me see it. Oh, go play.
Go rub some dirt on it.
Yep.
Yeah. And we heard the same shit from our parents. We heard the same shit from our parents. When I was a kid, we had to walk 9 miles in the snow just to get to school and everything. I'm like, fuck, I got it.
Uphill, barefoot, both ways.
Right. Well, shit, you're right. I got it better now, but now, people are just, the world is different now. The world is different now. And I have to get used to that.
The world's becoming wimpy.
every parent tries to make life a little better for their kids than they had it, and what that does is turn them weak. Trying to do better turns them weak. When weak goes gradually to a high point, and sooner or later it's going to turn itself, where the weak are going to have to start teaching them how to be strong. And
yeah, I got a feeling that we're in for a lot more worse than what we know right now. You know,
yeah, like Willie said, going to turn into the Wild West eventually.
Yeah, but there's some things.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We don't have to accept.
Ever since the pandemic and the lockdown, I mean, everything got goofy. And I mean, it really, and it's still goofy. In fact, it's gotten goofier.
Before then, there was over parenting, which was our generation, believe it or not, wanting us, because we went through some stuff. We wanted our kids to have more than we had. And that is part of it, part of the getting everything you want. And, you know, we what was it, $50 for an Atari game in the beginning when they came out, the Mario or whatever. And we were like, that's huge. That's like one Christmas gift, you know, and all this. And so we always wanted to give the kids more and more attention too. And it did turn, and it backfired, because with the schools doing what they did, I believe that's where they got the entitlement. Like, took it for granted, kind of.
Yeah,
so some
and
took it. Yeah.
At the same time, you had the participation trophies. You had, all that stuff. Look, when I was a kid, I didn't know what I was. I went out for football, I got cut. I went out for baseball, I got cut. And so I started going after like sports. This before I did guitar. Sports that they didn't cut you. So I went out for the track team. They don't cut you on track. They don't cut you on gymnastics, you know. And I went and did all those things, trying to find something I was good at. And finally, ended up being guitar was the only thing I was really, you know, and thank God it was something that everybody else wanted to do, you know, and I just happened to be, you know, not great at it, but okay. You know, so everybody's good at something, you know, but getting cut and not getting a trophy, and getting cut again and not getting a trophy, and getting cut again, you know, it wasn't like it was the end of the world for me. It was like, I need to go find something else to do.
Gave you more determination to find something else.
I guess it did, and I didn't even realize it at the time. I mean, I never got my feelings hurt because I got cut. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't good enough to play football. You know, I wasn't good enough to be on the baseball team, and I cheered all my friends on that were good at that shit. You know.
There you go, Yorga. Anti set this up here. That's like the old cigar box guitars. Remember them?
Yep. They had a thing called a canjo.
The canjo?
The canjo was a one-string. You could get it in a kit. It was cool. You took a beer can, put it on the end, drilled a hole through it, and somehow or another the string went through there, and there was one string, there was one tuner, but it was diatonic, which means that no matter what note you hit, they're all right. In other words, there'd be a fret. You know how a guitar has a fret, and then a fret, and a fret, a fret, a fret. This would have a fret, and then it might be a space that big, and then another fret, and then a space that big, and another fret. So if you were in the key of E, or key of anything, let's just say in the key of E, You tune that to an E, you could hit any note. And somebody could be playing China Grove, and you could hit any note on that thing, and it would be it because it was diatonic. I'm sorry. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it fluctuated and fit in with it.
Yeah, it didn't. There was no wrong notes in there. Kind of like a piano. I mean, the piano, or the black keys are all the sharps and the flats, and all the white keys are the natural. You know, so if you can kind of figure that out. Diatonic, yeah. Daniel, yeah. Diatonic means they take out all the notes that you don't want to hit. I guess. It's there's no honkers in there, as we called them, you know. Oh, you hit a honker on that song, you know. Yeah, I did hit a honker. It's like this. Okay, let me explain diatonic just a little bit, and this is easy. If on a piano, all the black notes are sharps and flats, you could take a song that is in the key of a sharp or a flat, not a natural, but let's say it's in E flat, and the song's going along. You can hit any black key on a piano, and it will fit in. That's diatonic. You can hit. I don't care what key it is. If it's in a sharp or a flat, you can hit the black keys, leave the white ones alone, and everything will fit. And you'll sound like Jerry Lee Lewis, man. I promise you. Never said I couldn't be boring.
Yeah, I ran to grab some more to drink, and I'm looking at it. I think I'm going to wrap it up. I've been at it 3 hours.
Really?
That's so weird, man. I just looked at it and I was like, it was pretty, you know, there was like a good 80 people, and like even us talking about puking.
We had a good conversation about yak. We did.
And butt balloons.
Yeah, I wasn't in on that one.
Well, you know what I mean. One about butts and one about balloons.
No, I was there. I just didn't participate, baby.
Oh, I know. You backed out because you're a good boy.
And butthole tattoos on the forehead.
Oh, yeah.
We had a guy here in Richmond back in the 70s before tattoos were even like prominent. And he wrote LSD on his forehead. On his forehead now, like really crappily, LSD, like acid. And that guy was around here for years, man. But every time you ran into him, it was like,
he tattooed that crap?
Yes, on his right between his eyes. LSD.
Oh gosh.
No,
great.
Way back before tattoos were like popular and whatnot.
Go to a job interview. Oh yeah. Yeah,
That's
no.
That's what I always thought. Is like, where do you work? LSD.
He probably did a lot of trials and stuff for different medicines.
Or he did some part-time work that ended up making a lot of money. You never know.
You never know. He's probably a billionaire right now.
Was his name Hunter?
I don't know what his name was.
Dorsey.
He was the LSD dude. Is what he.
Dorsey does microdosing. That's the big thing now.
Ooh.
Look it up.
A lot of people do that for PTSD, and microdose and minor dose are less than those, and it helps them with their PTSD.
Not doing
That's
that.
what it's for. Okay. No, me neither. No.
No, I did acid like 5 times when I was in my teens, and the first time it was fun. and I was laughing. Somebody dropped their pencil in school, and it was the funniest thing I ever saw in my life. And then as it went along towards my 5th time, it was like, no, it was like bad. And it would last for like 12 hours. And I was like, I'm never doing this again. Never. And I never did. Wasn't cool.
Especially when something gives you a bad trip.
The last time me and 2 friends of mine took some, and we were all going to just hang out and, trip. And they got a phone call from 2 girls that, they were going to take off with these 2 girls and left me alone. And so that night for 12 hours, I tripped by myself. And I was like, I'm never doing this again. Never.
Yeah, that is scary. You always want a buddy. Always. And a buddy for about like 24 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Being alone, tripping, no, I was fine. I can't even remember what I did, but,
You probably stared at a lot of stuff and you didn't do anything.
something like that. But I do remember going, I wish there was a switch I could just cut it off.
Oh no, you could eat ice cream, you can drink milk, you can do whatever you want, and it ain't cutting off.
It ain't cutting off. It ain't going nowhere. And I never did it again.
One of my friends one time made a pizza and then put shrooms on it.
Yeah.
And he ate a couple pieces of it and he started tripping. He went in his room, fell asleep. Well, his mom came home and she ended up eating the rest of the pizza and told him it tasted funny and the mushroom must have been bad. He goes, no, Mom, you might want to sit on the couch. I'll go get you something fluffy and some other stuff from the store. I'll be back.
Yeah.
She had to ride it out.
Yeah, and that ain't cool either. I was at work at the factory I worked at. This is going back way back to the late 70s, early 80s. And a guy had a deer meat sandwich. And he gave it to another guy. And it had a hit of acid on it. Going, ha, 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 ha. That ain't cool. And this guy ended up tripping his brains out, man, and didn't know he didn't know he ate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people jump off and shit and hurt themselves and stuff like that. Bad trips, tripping alone, not knowing what it is first, whatever.
Yeah, if somebody slips you some, that is not cool.
Yeah, I drank a bunch of mushroom tea years ago and didn't know I got into it till well into the ride. And it was like, everybody's like, wow, you drank? I said, yeah, I've seen that pitcher of tea in there. I thought it was awful bitter, but I was outside working and I was hot. And I drank one of them big plastic Tupperware glasses, and huge ones back when we were kids. And shit, I remember they had to carry me through the house to go to the bathroom to go, because I was afraid to walk because all the holes of fire in the floor and stuff.
That's what Leonard Skinner did when they were at their practice place. They would pick up mushrooms under the cow turds and make tea. They always had tea going. So everybody was tripping all the damn time.
Never did it again. Never did it on purpose either.
Yeah.
I always liked the chill thing. I didn't care nothing about the...
Somebody gave my friend a joint, and we didn't know that it had angel dust in it.
Yep.
And so we went to a high school basketball game, and we had to jump over a ditch. And I had my Cutlass hood would never shut right. It would always pop open. And so I went to go get across. As she was grabbing my grill and had her thumb there, I was on the curb and I slammed the thing down. So basically she has a broken thumb, doesn't care about it, and sits there through the whole time till we got her to the hospital, but sits there the whole time with a Coke and ice and sticks her thumb in it and goes through the entire game. And I'm like, Renee, you're my hero. And I am so sorry because I did it to her. I felt so bad.
Yeah, but it was an accident, and I bet that the very next day she was sore and
she felt it. Oh yeah, but she didn't feel anything, and neither did I that whole game. It was just la 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 la.
Wow. Yeah, I do not miss those days.
When I first moved to Wisconsin, one of my first parties that I went to, there was a very, very pretty girl. She was kind of popular, and some guy gave her a hit of acid. She never came back. She was never normal after that.
What that happened to friends of mine too.
Yeah, it does it to some people, or they find God. Like they have such a spiritual experience that they say they realize.
Oh, yeah. Few people around here think they are after they did some. They think they are God.
That too, but I'm saying the ones that turn to God because I don't know, maybe a certain part of it's supposed to open up the creative side or side of your brain. And so I'm thinking that, yeah, it could go either way.
I've seen that happen. To go to the religious side, I've seen that from acid. And I mean, to the extreme. And we also had a guy, I swear there was a guy named Mike Tripp. His last name was Tripp. And he took acid like one time and he was never the same again. And he was one of these guys that, quit school, you're going through school, and he was always just walking around the neighborhood or the area. And you saw him for years, just kind of just walking around. It's like, good God, man, one time.
Yeah, burn something out. Some people say it opens their pineal up. Some people it opens some stuff up and they just ain't never right.
I knew two guys like that. They were never the same again.
But I think there is a point though, because I knew one that like senior skip day, he was on number 52. This guy could argue politics. He could argue any topic that you wanted. He was one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life. And he was one of the lucky ones. But I believe if you just do it like everything else, you try it once or twice or get it spiked or whatever, I do believe it could possibly open a part of the brain, because if it can screw it up, it can probably open it up too.
Timothy Leary in his 60s and the late 50s experimented with that, using it for making super soldiers and just see what it does to the psyche, what part of it would open more of the brain up.
Oh, I haven't even researched that. I didn't even think about that, because the MK Ultra to me doesn't, oops, I shouldn't have said that, doesn't compare to that. I didn't even think they were doing both, because they were getting all kinds of stuff just as first ones to try something out, going to another country with diseases or whatever.
Yeah. Well, hell, y'all, almost 3 hours and 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and kill it. Thank y'all for showing up. Much love to all y'all. I'll try to get another one going here soon. And bless y'all. Much love. Y'all want to say any last things? Go ahead.
Stay light and fluffy.
God bless y'all.
Be a marshmallow.
Good night, y'all.
Soprano, as they say in trance.